All right, guys, hope you're all doing well. Today, my friends, we're here with a 2v2 tournament. So it's been a while since we've had these. Man, how long has it been? Must have been like over a year. I mean, I'm trying to remember back. I think it was called the Gotrek and Felix League before. Maybe we'll change the name. I think that was pretty good. But today, guys, we have a four-man tournament, or, well, more than four-man, but a four-team tournament. In game one, or round one, it's going to be Super Team 1, which, let's go ahead and take a look at the roster here. I'm going to pull up everyone. I'm going to go through this all at once. Super Team 1 is going to be a Tank and Crabling, so two very seasoned Russian tournament players. And then in the first round, they're going to be facing off against Team Hungry Rats, who shall be led by Swarv and North Nana. Certainly going to be quite a bit of fun. We've seen them in our King of the Hills performing very well. And then in the second round of the day, we have Zimmerix and Ice Power Total War. Their team name is going to be the Grail Peasants, facing off against Willow. Willow's team, which is going to be the Tree and the Pig. So it's going to be Willow 6669 and Lycus. So certainly going to be quite a bit of fun. Very excited to be here. Hope you're all doing well. It is I, yes. And then Francis says, yeah, I know. The JRE with Joey Diaz. Oh, those are always funny for sure. You know, Evil Couch Potato, I can't do that. But if you ask the Italian Spartacus to do that type of an accent, he's really good at it for sure. Really, really good. Now, as far as the rules go, it's kind of the Wild West, to be completely honest. We're using ladder restrictions because when you get in the 2v2, balance kind of goes out the window a little bit as pertains to, traditional balance. So we have ladder caps on, so players obviously can't bring 10 giants or, they can't spam out in that respect. But there's ladder caps. They can't have duplicate casters, so you can't play vampire counts and have two casters, both of which have Invocation of Heck. Because for example, you could bring Manfred, right? You have Manfred to get infinite winds of magic and then two vampire casters for triple Invocation of Nehek. You can't do that. So there are going to be limitations on the casters. But aside from that, the rules are relatively relaxed. We still do follow these same attacking rules as traditional tournaments do. So they'll have to engage each other. There's not going to be draw kiting or any of that sort of nonsense. But we actually loaded in really quick there, which was nice. So the first match is going to be Greenskins and Norska for Super Team for the Russians, facing off against the Dwarves and Vampire Coast, which is interesting. I wonder if he's going to go for a Vampire Coast cannon and gun line and use a Dwarf Ironbreaker front line. Whenever you play these undead factions, I think in 2v2, some of the best ways to really capitalize on that and to really make them extremely strong is to go, double undead, right? So I'm talking Vampire counts and, Vampire Coast. The cross healing can certainly be very powerful from invocations because then you're getting two pools worth of winds of magic for just healing and resurrecting models. But again, Dwarves and Coast, very interesting composition. I wonder where they're going to really accentuate their strengths. Now, they could go for a Dwarven gun line, use Zombie Chaff in the front line. Who knows? I mean, the build could be pretty wild. So, players have loaded in. In 2v2, it's always a good sign when there's a very little lag as we do jump into the game. So let's look at the Greenskin and Norskin army. So we have Wurzog, which in 2v2, he's probably one of the best 2v2 characters in the game. And let me go ahead and show you guys why. Wurzog has an item called the Bonewood Staff. And whenever he casts a spell, his entire army, including his allies' army, gets 12 melee attack and 18 melee, or 12 melee attack and 18% charge bonus. It's so good in 2v2. It's so good and tasty. And for the rest of the Greenskin army, it's mainly goblins. He has some archers in the back, so the Greenskins are bringing their Haggard Walmart archers and some squigs. Yeah, so really, it looks like Norska is taking the front line a little bit more aggressively. Although there are some Savage Orcs mixed in. It's very much a mixed forces army, a little bit of mobility, some archers, some infantry. And yeah, that's it. But really, the big force multiplier from the Bonewood Staff, I think, is going to be one of the stronger aspects of this battle. So for the Norskin front line, he did bring Marauder Hunters. Now, the reason why you bring Marauder Hunters is to break Dwarven shield walls. These guys have really good throwing axes, can bring down shields, and yeah, just great AP values. Not going to be super good against a lot of the Coast stuff, but if Coast does go for a Crab Rush or something like that, the throwing axes will also be quite useful there. So yeah, Norska, a bunch of throwing axes. They do also have a Shaman Sorcerer Fire, Wolfric, and I could have sworn I saw the Troll Toll being paid. The Troll Tolls have been hidden in the trees, I think. Where are the Trolls? I just saw a couple Norskin Ice Trolls. Where do they teleport to? Oh, here they are. Okay, they just moved here. But yeah, Norskin Ice Troll is an interesting pick. I mean, they have good AP against Dwarves, but the one risky pick about Tank's Ice Trolls here is that these guys are very weak to heavy focus fire from missiles, and you're facing Vampire Coast and Dwarves. So I'm a little bit concerned about this pick, but we'll see how they make it work. And now for the Coast and Dwarf army, let's take a look. Wow, that is an onion if I've ever seen one. So the Dwarves are bringing Miners with Blasting Charges. In the secondary line, we have Dwarf Warriors. We have Belagar Ironhammer, Gotrek, and Felix, which I wonder if Felix will heal Count Noctilus since he's undead. I'm pretty sure he will. So we have Count Noctilus, we have some Vampire Coast powder as well. Looks like a Carronade in the back, and a Gunnery White as well. So certainly a lot of heroes, and that is very strong in 2v2. Having 6 heroes is very, very powerful across the board. Yeah, it's a very strange build, but yeah, for the most part, the Dwarves are defending here. They're going to be holding the front line, and the Vampire Coast gun line, so these gunnery mobs and the cannons and all that other sort of good stuff are going to be doing the heavy punching. And it looks like we do also have Dwarf Warriors and some Dragonback Slayers here in our first match. So very fun stuff. Very cool builds by both teams. So let us know in chat, guys, who are you rooting for? The Dwarf and Vampire Coast Alliance, or the Norskin and Greenskin Horde Wa thing? I don't really know what I would call it, but nonetheless, it's going to be pretty darn cool. Pulling up chat here on my phone as we do load in. This is the first game of the day in this best of 3 showdown between the Super Team and the Hungry Rats. Although we haven't seen any Hungry Rats yet. I perhaps think that these two fine gentlemen are saving their Skaven for the next round here. Start when ready. Go luck, have fun. There we go. Very good. So here we go. Obviously the Dwarves are going to be staying very still. The Dwarves and Vampire Coast, which are 2 factions that play very, very similar. I'm surprised we didn't see a Dwarf Cannon. You know, the Great Cannons are a little bit better than Carronades. Granted, Carronades, I think, are cheaper, like a little bit cheaper, so maybe that's why. And the Dwarves really wanted to kind of focus on that front line. This is going to be interesting. No bombers also. I was really expecting to see some bombers in the front line from this faction to really just kind of punish the Greenskin and, you know, the lightly armored Norskin front line. But again, we'll see how it goes. The Shield Breakers will not be bad. The Miners have some blasting charges. Okay, so 2 of them do, 2 of them don't. And it looks like the cannon is going to be tearing downtown into Wulfric. Wulfric is going to be the choicest of targets, the first target as well. Looks like he's juking relatively efficiently. He did dodge that first shot. I think it was shooting at Wulfric. We'll continue to watch here. But the Troll Toll approaches, and honestly, the Vampire Coast doesn't have too many long-range guns. It's mostly just the kind of the chaffy gunnery mobs here, which is interesting. On the far side, we do have the Norskin Chariot circling about, taking some shots from this mighty Gunnery White. He's got his long rifle, just going to be kind of poking in there. But you can see here that tank is really looking to get a big Burning Head, and he does get one back there. We missed it for a second. Wow, look at that. Burning Head plus Brainbuster. So, oh no, and the Burning Head goes into the cannon, but it looks like it just goes over the pieces and not the crew. That was very, very close there. Nonetheless, the Brainbuster from Wurzog did some really good damage, and the Burning Head was okay. It was able to kind of chip a little bit of HP off these 2 gunnery mobs. Certainly not the best, but not the worst by any stretch of the imagination. So throwing axes are going in here as Wurzag plus the Shaman Sorcerer take apart the Miners with blasting charges. And yeah, it's a nice little free pick here, and the Wa is active. So the Wa, it's so insane. In 2v2, Greenskins are such a good faction, because if Norska had like more frontline troops, it would be buffing the Norskin troops. So we got Squig Hoppers coming in the flank here, going to be jumping in, going after the gunnery mobs, trying to just penetrate in, but it looks like, no, they're going to cycle charge in. This is a classic tactic. Hit the back line, bounce to the front line, hit the back of the frontline troops. So these Miners will be breaking down in a matter of seconds. So the Vampire Coast and Dwarven lines are now going to be surging in with their actual quality troops. So basically they sent in the gunnery mobs and sacrifices, and now the Slayers and Gotrek and Felix and all those scary heroes are going to be jumping into the fight. And you can see they are in here. So we have Belagar with Revenge Incarnate and the Mighty Oathstone. We have Felix Jaeger. We have Gotrek the Slayer. It's a big old party. Burning Head going down to the back as well. Burning Head cleaving into the back of the lines again. Tank and Crabling have been very, very aggressive with that play and certainly been doing a very good job. In the meantime, Crabling, his Goblins have been able to break through the middle, getting past those Dwarf Warriors. And Wulfric's in a little bit of a good shape for this point in the game. Certainly going to be very scary for the Dwarves if he goes into the late game. We also have a ton of throwing axes and Daka, and the Trolls are beating happily on top of the Dwarf Warriors with no missile counterplay shooting back at those guys. So currently, I think the balance of power is pretty even. I would say maybe slightly favored for the Norskins and Greenskins. Nice Effigy of the Git going down right here on top of the Gunnery White, and it looks like he is going to be getting 2v1'd here by Wurzag, who is buffed up by the Fist of Gork, as well as the Shaman Sorcerer, and he's taken some damage for sure. Throwing axes are able to punish some of the Dwarves, but the Dwarves are able to break past some of the Goblins and Chaff units, pushing back into the throwing axes, but I think that tank should be able to fall back pretty happily, and from there he should be relatively okay. I'm just going to minimize real quick and make sure that I don't have a screen blocker up. Okay. I was just so paranoid, goodness. I was like, wait, did I just start this whole cast? Because I just woke up like 20 minutes before the cast, so I had to make sure we're good there. Nonetheless, the Shaman Sorcerer going to be getting slapped with the Wraithstorm from Noctilus, but it looks like it does make pretty good contact, actually. Noctilus is able to shank Wurzog here. On the far side, the Dwarves are making a pretty good hold here in the back. Gotrek, Felix, and the Dragonback Slayers, and of course Belagar are just roaming around in a big nasty goon squad. But the Vampire Coast Carronade's offline. The Gunnery Mobs are still semi-functional, but that's only about 800 gold worth of value back there. And we do have a big old mammoth. And the problem is that if the the foot characters have to get cycle charged by Wulfric in the late game, plus what I really like is the fact that Tank brought all these hunters. He's going to be able to really like pepper down Belagar and these other threats. However, if Tank lets Wulfric get caught here and beaten down by this hero goon squad, that could be a way for for them to get back in the game here. Oh, Foot of Gork going down right there, stomping the yard. Although it pretty much just hits the deckhand mobs, but it looks really cool and certainly sent a message. I think that Super Team here thought that there was more here because they saw the flags and banners, but it was actually just 3 characters. So Foot of Gork obviously didn't do too much right there. So here we have Wulfric charging down, going to be cleaving into these dwarves. These miners with blasting charges over here, going to be getting wrecked by the mammoth in a matter of seconds, I would imagine. And aside from that, if we look at the rest of the battlefield, the troll toll certainly being paid by that gunnery white right there, as the Norscan ice trolls and the throwing axes are able to pepper them down. But now the vampire coast is kind of pushing back a little bit. And it looks like it's a pretty even game. And really, you have to remember those really scary heroes, Gotrek, Felix, and King Belegar, the true Lord of Karakay Peaks, is still fighting here. And also the gunnery mobs are getting some great shots into the Shaman Sorcerer. Oh, this is going to be a good Burning Head right here. They're rotating right into it. Burning Head goes into those guys and goes through all 3 units. Beautiful stuff. Now the Squig Hoppers are coming in. The throwing axes can come in melee as well. And Marauder Hunters aren't bad in melee. They actually are rocking 37 melee attacks. So certainly very capable of beating down the zombie pirate gunnery mobs in melee. And honestly, they might want to charge into melee and save their ammo. I think that would be the better play. Now, if we look at what the Dwarves and Vampire Coast have left, let's see. It's going to be a pretty classic hero grind. We have zombie pirate deckhand mobs here. We have some summons from Noctilus. In the back, we have some gunnery mobs, and that's pretty much it. Like, this whole pocket is going to get wrecked here for sure with the Squig Hoppers and also the throwing axes really pursuing them. The heroes, though, are going to be the big issue. You can see here the Shaman Sorcerer is very beat up. Wulfric's a little bit damaged as well. But I think that if Tank and Crabling are able to form like a firing concave and get a really good angle and circle around those units, they shouldn't have too many problems dragging down Gotrek and Felix with a little bit of cycle charging. Basically what you do is you just cycle charge Felix with the Mammoth, push him away from the melee mob, and then from there you can methodically pick off the other units in the army. Noctilus is also really hard to kill, and you know, there is that X factor. Is Count Noctilus saving summons in his back pocket? And this battle's a lot closer than it looks. I mean, it might look like the Greenskins and Norskins are running them over, but you have to remember that ammunition is running a little bit sparse for some of these units. Granted, the Greenskin archers have pretty good firepower here for sure. They're teeing off. I wonder who they're going after. It looks like some of the axes are going after Count Noctilus. The hero goon squad and the remnants of the miners charge in. Squig Hoppers getting a beautiful charge back here and are going to be tearing into the Dwarf Warriors. And they should be able to maybe win that fight. I mean, they're pretty beat up themselves, but I think they should be able to clean up these dwarves, especially with their bonus versus infantry and their really good AP values. Fireball going in as well. Fireball is going to be quite useful for working on Felix and those lightly armored characters here. And the last of the zombie pirate deckhand mobs with polearms are going to be going down to the wrath of the Norskin and Greenskin combined Wa, which I wonder if that would ever happen in lore. I feel like it wouldn't. I don't know. It seems like a... I mean, they're kind of similar in terms of style, but I don't know. I don't feel like the Greenskins would ever like ally with anyone other than Greenskins. Although I guess in the end times they kind of help out a little bit. But like, I feel like when Greenskins help out, it's kind of like for their own gains because they get to scrap. They're not really like your ally. They're just kind of there fighting your enemy. I feel like that's more the case. Anyways, here we do have the Hero Goon Squad. So this is the classic Noctilus and Gotrek and Felix Goon Squad situation, really. But I don't think... I would be really surprised if Swarv and North Nana were able to do this. I think Wulfric's going to come in and basically they can send stuff into melee. And yeah, you can see Felix is being goon. Great play here by the Russians. Able to get some really good focus fire here on Swarv's Felix. And Noctilus is trying to scream. Look at this. He's like, and I will always love you. Just blocking right here and trying to save him. But Felix is going to be getting taken out right there. And the throwing axes and the missile play, that's probably going to be enough to buckle him down. Plus there's also a giant mammoth, which is so good against infantry and foot characters and things like that. So Felix, 1,000 HP, -12, going down, in a little bit of trouble here, and yeah, he's broken now. So that's some fresh fish on the line, and now basically the Norskins or the Greenskins can just grab any of their different units. Yeah, Wurzog, for example, can go chase this guy off and make sure he doesn't come back. So now I think it's time for the Mammoth to come in. I think he's going to need to, because if he doesn't, I mean, they're going to start losing a lot of stuff to Belegar, Gotrek, as well as Count Noctilus, which all 3 of these units more or less are unbreakable. So Fireball's coming in, going after Gotrek. Nice shot right there. Gotrek, of course, does have his healing ability that he can proc once he gets very, very low. It's kind of a little bit bugged, though, from what I've seen. It seems that it can kind of like heal other units around him. It's very, very strange, but we'll see how it works out. So the character Goon Squad's still going. These guys are not going quietly into the night here. They're saying GG, but is it really GG? I mean, I've seen games like this, and yeah, I mean, I guess Belegar is an unbreakable. That was a little bit of a mistake on my part, but the missiles are shooting in. Definitely want to focus on Gotrek. Throwing axes coming in as well. And hey, this is really good. It's well thought out, right? They have good answers to deal with these character spam here. So 2,300 down to 1,900. I'm really surprised Wulfric isn't coming in to just like finish off Gotrek. But Gotrek's Doom is activated. Oh, Wurzog's going for the hog charge, but he pulls back at the last second, baiting out the summon. Beautiful stuff. Now that is actually a bit of a mistake from North Nana. You want to save your summons until they run out of ammo and they have to come fight you in melee in accordance with the rules, right? and then you drop your summon. That's where you're going to get the big value. Wurzog with a nice brain bust. Look at that bust in the brain. Those rotted brains of those guys right there, and getting some good value. And yeah, just really conservative play here from Super Team. Just trying to really finish off Gotrek and make sure he doesn't come back and cause problems here. Fireball coming in as well, able to shoot into the hip of Gotrek. Gotrek is down to 900 HP, and when Gotrek goes, it's going to be pretty easy cleanup, because then Wulfric can come in. I mean, he even should come in now and just attack Noctilus or attack Belegar or Gotrek. Cycle charging, I mean, you could basically send in some of your missile pieces, like send in the Marauder Hunters, let them like tarp it for a second, and then pull in Wulfric. So the Goon Squad still continues to go. Gotrek down to 722 HP. Obviously, they have a lot of respect for the Mighty Slayer, wanting to make sure he doesn't, pull the game back. I mean, Wurzog could get gooned, right? Granted, there's no snares here, so these Footlords angrily chasing here. Felix, of course, getting taken out pretty quick. They is lore friendly. Looks, you see, the heal goes off there, but it doesn't heal him. It leaves the healing effect behind him, and I feel like there's a little bit of a bug with that, which hopefully they do fix. Granted, I think Gotrek, even without that, is still very good and worth bringing, so it's not really a game-breaking bug, but I do think it's very, very annoying for sure. So the characters are pulling back. The missile units for the Greenskin and Norskin Wa are chasing, but you'll notice the bounce of power. Oh, and Gotrek goes down, no-scoped by a fireball right there, and now it's pretty much cleanup time. I mean, at this point, I would just Zerg in with all your stuff. It's over at this point. And, the team could withdraw, but I guess they still think they have a chance, and Wulfric is going to wreck these guys. Wulfric is so good against foot characters. Hunter of Champion is active as well, lowering his armor and melee defense, and you can see that one blow from the Mammoth did so much damage. And now Summon's coming down? Yeah, but I mean, they don't have to fight. That's the thing. The Summons, he's using them a little bit too early. Just wait out all the ammo and save it, although I guess maybe he thinks he won't make it that long, and that's probably the actual case. So I suppose ultimately that is the right idea, but we'll see what happens here. So Noctil is chasing about. Belegar Ironhammer, the true king of Karak 8 Peaks, doing his thing. Fireball coming in as well. Going to be slamming into Count Noctilis. Yes, hits him, does about 300-400 damage right there. And now Wulfric's going to be coming in for another cycle charge, throwing axes. And yeah, look at this in the back, guys. Tank and Crabbling also have Norse controls. And yeah, they just got to pull those guys in. Spare us this. Pull those guys into battle. And it looks like a Brain Bust is going down, which won't do much against those units. I think he was trying to clip the Zombie Pyre Deckhan mobs. Wulfric coming back once again, and yes, the Troll Toll is coming in. It looks like they're moving. I mean, the Trolls plus all these units, it would just crump these guys. It would just kill them so quick, and that would probably trigger a pretty quick army losses, I would imagine. Wulfric coming in for another charge. Noctilis will charge him, but he's going to take damage again, probably. Yep, I mean, look at that damage. So much damage to these foot characters here. And now he's always got Fist of Gork. The Greenskin gods smile on Wulfric the Wanderer as he just annihilates Count Noctilis. And yeah, Belegar is not going to do too much damage here. Honestly, I would just stay and fight. There's no reason to run with Wulfric. Just end it. Just put them out of their misery here. But they're being so conservative, just being so careful here. And you can see Count Noctilis, all the buffs are popped. And, I understand. Invocation's active as well. And there he goes. Now he's just kind of pulling back and getting those big old juicy Mammoth charges. And Noctilis is down to 1,500. Of course, Invocation will heal him up a little bit, but nothing to write home about, as he is about to hit his healing cap here. We do have some Goblin Archers and some Hunters coming in. Count Noctilis is very, very low. He's at his healing cap now. Wurzog looks like he's coming in as well to get his bacon wet, and he does charge in there, and does not make contact. Obviously, Wurzog is not as powerful against such characters compared to the big boys here, which is the ultimate respect being paid, but that is pretty much it, guys. There's no way. So at this point, it's going to be a bit of a grind to wrap up this battle, but that's going to be probably game one for the Super Team, as Count Noctilis and Belegar, with Revenge Incarnate being activated once again, are trying their best, but that's going to be all she wrote, and GG there. GG, my friends. So, obviously, these are best of threes. How it works, it's blind picks, so the players send their factions to me, and then they basically build from there. So that's how you party. Game one, and honestly, this is great. All four players with pretty good connections. We didn't have too many lag issues, if any at all. And now the Trolls are coming in. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Get the Trolls in here. These bad boys will beat down Noctilis in a circle beating, and that'll be it. That'll be all she wrote. All right, so let's pull up chat here real quick. No, I don't want to listen to myself. Why would you need Felix with... yeah, Felix is pretty good, for sure. Especially if you have a lot of characters. And in 2v2, you can have a lot of characters. Yeah. Yeah, if you had kept the summons at the end. But the thing is, if they had kept the summons, the Greenskins and Norskins had a lot of ammo left. So they could have just pulled back and kept shooting until the summons were gone. They were being very careful with their ammo usage. So, that's game one. So we'll update the scorecard. Send me your blind picks. Go, go. All right, so they're going to send me their blind picks for the next round here. Must play diff factions. And they must play different factions as well. So next will be, we'll do a smaller battle. We'll be on the Pillar of Bone. It's a pretty small map, but I think it'll be fun for, you know, different playstyles and whatnot. So I'm going to get their blind picks. The players are going to send them to me. We have a donation coming in from Cody Bear. Thank you so much. Turin, finally catching one of your streams. Keep up the great content. Loving your Mountain Blade stuff. Much love and good luck to all the teams. Thank you so much, Cody. And welcome to the stream. Yes. Did I forget to update the scorecards? No, okay, so the scorecards were wrong. My apologies. For some reason, I thought I deleted that, but I guess not. Okay, so the score is 1-0 now. Yeah. Thank you, guys. It is. How many points for each player? So we are using medium funds. So medium funds isn't like the biggest, but it seems to be a pretty good kind of... I thought about doing small funds, but some of the players did raise a really good point that in small funds, hero spam is just way, way too strong. So medium funds, you guys saw that there. Both players still get a pretty big army, but it's not super large. So we are using medium funds here for this tournament. So, all right, so players are sending their blind picks to me. So we have Skaven and Empire, the unlikely alliance, versus Skaven and Dawi. Oh my god, two just Skaven Dawi versus Skaven Empire. Oh my god, guys. It's Skaven and Dwarves. Just the most heretical matchup ever. Well, I guess Skaven and Empire is probably worse. They actually care about that heresy stuff. And then Skaven and Empire. Oh my god. So this is going to be quite absurd. Skaven and Dwarves, I mean, you know, two factions. I mean, you bring the Dwarven Infantry and the Skaven Weapons teams, and you got a pretty nasty build right there for sure. Perfect. Warhawk, this is my very first live stream with you. Hey, welcome to the stream, man. Hopefully you're enjoying. Did you come to the channel through Bannerlord or through Total War? I know there's been a lot of new folks coming in from Bannerlord, which we will be having a Bannerlord stream tomorrow, in case people are wondering. Turin, are you going to play the Final Fantasy remake for us old heads? You know, I never played the originals, really, so probably not. 4v4 tournament, maybe someday. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not terribly interested in 4v4. That one becomes a little bit hard to kind of follow, unless you have, like, a really heavy theme with the different factions. Yeah. Guys, Skaven and Empire versus Skaven and Dwarves. So basically the difference is, you know, the Empire and Dwarves here. Honestly, I think this is going to favor Crabbling and Tank. Because, like, Dwarves are so good against Empire. And, you know, the Skaven will be able to fight the other Skaven, right? So it's going to be, yeah, I don't know how this is going to go. I really think Tank is just going to bring a front line of Longbeards. And, like, you know, maybe some Slayers. And then Crabbling is just going to go balls deep on the gun lines. I think that's how they're going to play it. Pillar Bone is a pretty small map, though, so rushes are viable. Empire rushes with Cav could be decent. A couple people want to use them in multiplayer. Bretonnia and Dwarves have... Bretonnia could be okay in the 2v2. Yeah. Gotrek and Felix are strong. They're not, like, get broken by any stretch of the imagination, but I think they're strong. Felix, I think, less so. I think a lot of people have kind of discovered that Felix Jaeger can be a bit risky because he can get sniped and oftentimes doesn't really generate the value you want. A Grimgor Gorse tag team? Oh man, Francis, that would be something of legend. Warhawk through Total War. I've watched a lot of your videos, but never been able to catch lives. Got you, man. Well, welcome to the stream. You lose your lord, you lose the tournament. Oh my god, just like King, protect the king. Yeah. And the king has to be Helman Gorst. Yeah. No, it's not Beastman, it's Skaven. Yeah, Skaven and Dwarves against Skaven and Empire. Start when ready. An absolute circus of a matchup. And again, guys, welcome to the stream. It's a pleasure to have you all here. We'll keep the good times rolling. We'll keep the good times rolling, my friends. And tomorrow we'll have a Bannerlord stream. I'll actually be streaming my con campaign tomorrow, which should be quite a bit of fun. I know, Dawi teamed with Rats. It's something all right. It really is something. I don't know what to say. But I think as far as like the composition goes, but in 2v2, like, balance is just totally different. And I really think, though, if I just looked at the factions, I think it would favor the Dwarves and Skaven, because Dwarves can do really well against Empire. And obviously, I guess it depends on what the Skaven bring. I think Crabbling will bring, like, maybe some Mortars and Jezzails, and then Tank will just kind of protect everything with his Dwarven battle lines. All right, so they're readying up here in a minute. All right, there we go. Hey, what's up, Peter? How you doing? Expando? Good to see you. I know, it's very strange. It's a 2v2 tournament, so, I mean, everything is out the window. You guys want a modded tournament where every single lord in the tournament has to be Helman Gorst. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I'm getting the book. Yeah, this is certainly going to be a grudge battle here. Maybe we'll see how it goes. Krabbling and Tank, of course, two very active tournament players from Russia. Clan VM. Currently up 1-0. We're going to see if they can clinch this series against Swarv and North Nana, who certainly put up a great fight, but I think that the advantage did go to the Dwarves and the Skaven here, but we'll see. One sec, guys. All right, guys, we're back in business. We just had to tend to the needs of the great Wookiee, the Nurgling. We probably won't have 4v4 tournaments for quite some time. Maybe when Game 3 comes out, just to showcase a bunch of factions. I don't know. But yeah, for now, we're going to stick to 2v2s. The meme with Helman Gorst, the conductor, is that he's just so bad that he's kind of like a joke. So whenever you bring him, it's just like, it's basically a meme in itself because he's just not good at all. That's kind of the joke of it. Not much else to it, to be completely honest. So Pillar of Bone is the map players have loaded in. Very good connections. This is outstanding. This is better than I could have hoped for. I was expecting a lag fest today. And now, my friends, let's look at the army of the Dwarves. Oh my god! Oh my god! Look at this! So Tank and Krabbling have triple cannon as well as the Goblobber. They have Gotrek, they have Felix, and they have Grombrindle the White Dwarf, Longbeards, and Dwarf Warriors. So I guess I had it wrong. I guess it's just going to be a massive gun line with the minimal defense in the front. So Skaven Slaves and Dwarf Warriors fighting shoulder to shoulder to defend the back line. 2 Jezzails and Mortars, just like we anticipated. We have an Assassin, Lord Skrulk, a Warlock Engineer, and some Skaven Slaves. This is quite the build. Oh my god. Just an absolute meme. I mean, it's not a meme, it's a serious build, but triple Dwarven Cannon with mortars and double Jezzails, I mean, that's a lot of firepower. That's a lot to protect. And if the Empire and Skaven over here try to actually counter-shoot them, they're going to lose this really badly. Now, for the forces of North Nana and Swarv, he's got Skaven Slaves, he's got some mortars. In the back, he does have a Plague Priest, and it looks like we have Marcus Wolfheart. All right, Marcus is pretty solid here. An Amber Wizard for Manticore Summons and Gotrek as well. And the Empire is going to be taking care of the front line, bringing Swordsmen and Empire Knights and Sigmar Sons. So this is going to be pretty nasty for sure. The 2 Empire Cannons, the Hammer of the Witches, are going to get dunked on by the triple cannon from the Dwarves. I think this is going to be pretty rough for the Empire Dwarf or Empire Skaven faction. But we'll see how this goes. Yeah, I thought there would be more Skaven weapons teams with like a Dwarf front line, but the triple Dwarf cannon is certainly very strong. I mean, Empire and Skaven are both factions that do like to bring artillery from time to time. So, I mean, the triple cannon is certainly safe. There's also a Grudge Thrower here, which is going to be pounding into, I would imagine, some of the weapons teams. Or, I mean, what weapons teams does he have? He only has the Poison Wind Mortars here. So what's going to happen is Tank and Krabbling are probably going to use the Jezzails to focus down the Poison Wind Mortars, and then use the cannons to kill the Empire artillery. And I mean, from there, I don't know what this army's going to do without those assets. They do have mobility, though. So there are Empire Knights here for Swarv. If they're able to get their Empire Knights into the cookie jar and really do some pounding here. Oh, but look at this, guys. I was wondering why their army looks so thin. Oh, this is the X Factor. We have Death Runners from North Nana. We have Deathmaster Snitch and also an Assassin. Okay. Okay, guys. This really changes the dynamic. If these guys slam into the back line and kill all these cannons, that's going to be GG. For sure. Oh, man, I'm so excited for this. What a cool thematic build that's also competitive in this circumstance. Deathmaster, Assassin, triple Death Runner back here. And Death Runners are known to be like a super hard counter against Dwarves. And honestly, not bad against Skaven Chaff. So just like we said, the Jezzails are going to be shooting in, going after the Poison Wind Mortars immediately. And the other mortars shooting into Skaven Slaves, pretty much whatever they can hit here. But yeah, the mortars from North Nana here and the Hungry Rats certainly getting punished pretty bad. So the Death Runners need to get in there fast and certainly do their best to make a difference. So if we look back here, yeah, the Empire Cannon's getting dunked on by the Dwarven Cannons as well. Dwarven Cannons are a little bit more accurate, if I'm not mistaken, more durable. And the Great Cannon back here is going to be getting taken out, I would imagine, after a couple more volleys. And the mortar teams for North Nana and the boys are offline here. The Empire Cannon's still shooting, but let's see what they're shooting at. It looks like they're shooting at the Dwarven Cannons, which, I don't know, maybe just ignore the cannons and try and do some damage against other stuff, like the Jezzails or some of the other, mortar teams here. I don't know. It's hard to say. Anyways, the forces of North Nana and Swarv, the state troops, just getting wrecked by the mortars. Marcus Wolfhard advancing as well. But man, Marcus Wolfhard's now getting gooned by the Jezzails as well. This is pretty brutal so far, to be honest. I think Marcus needs to run for the trees and just get back here. Now, the Empire side of things here does have Manticore summons, and there's also this huge flank coming in. So here it comes. This is it. This is the moment. I mean, this needs to be cost effective. If North Nana and company aren't able to get good value here with their Death Runners in the back, the game will basically be over. So here they come. Charging in, I would imagine. It looks like he's going to try and split up here. Tank and Crabbling do react pretty quickly, though. You can see the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers do see that coming. But he needs to get in there with the other Death Runners. Like, get back there somehow and start pressuring in. Otherwise, it's just going to be a bit of a wash. Now, the state troops in the Skaven front line, so the Empire-Skaven alliance, have engaged in the front. But obviously, they're fighting Dwarf Warriors and pretty good troops here. But a nice gooning attempt here. Manticore Summon coming in, and it is going after Lord Skrulk here for Crabbling. And if they're able to get Skrulk Daddy, that could be quite nice for sure. In the back, the Death Runners are making pretty quick work here of the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. But the Hero Goon Squad's coming. This is like a scene from lore. You have Gotrek. Oh, but the Deathmaster Sigil going down and snaring Gotrek down, it looks like. But yeah, the Felix is still not bad in combat. He does have a really good bonus for his infantry. And the Mortars come back here, cleaning up the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. And the Empire Knights coming in as well. But a really nice shield wall formed by Tank. He's able to block that charge. Just masterful block right there. But the other Empire Knights are coming in as well. And they are going to be getting on the Jezzails here. So it looks like, guys, we actually have a pretty serious scrap here in this situation, as the Empire Knights are able to get on top of those Jezzails. The other cannons, though, are they compromised? It looks like this one is holding. No, actually, a summon from North Nana is on top of those. And the Death Runners are actually on top of the Grudge Thrower. So it looks like they might be able to come back with the masterful Deathmaster Snitch gank. The Goblobber here, easily going to be taken apart here by these Death Runners, unless North Nana kind of screws up and runs away from it, but he should 100% finish that off. This cannon probably going to be taken out. We have Plague Monks from North Nana as well on Lord Skrulk, so Skrulk being taken apart by his own kind, and the Manticore Summon coming in as well. The Manticore Summon does jump on top of Skrulk Daddy and is able to punish him. So wow, a really rough start for the Empire in this Skaven, but the Deathmaster flank coming in from all the Death Runners, cleaning up the artillery pieces, the Manticore gooning on Skrulk, and the Empire Cav charges coming in the fourth quarter of the game have proven to make the difference here. And it looks like the Empire Skaven coalition is getting back on its feet. Now, as far as cannons go, it has two great cannons and one here, and honestly, the Dwarven cannon position is in really bad shape. North Nana does actually have an angle here if he gets these Death Runners and goes to finish off this cannon. That'd certainly be very good. I'm pretty sure Skrulk Daddy has been killed for the Russians. I think he's run, or he's at least very broken. Yeah, it looks like he's over here. And we have Gotrek. We have, oh my god, imagine if you had like double Gotrek, double Felix. That would be some memeage for sure. But the Empire Knight's able to chase down the Jezzails back here. And I don't know, the Dwarves, of course, are pretty durable. Tank does have Felix, he's got Gotrek, he's got Grombrindle, the White Dwarf. And but yeah, man, Deathmaster Snitch lurks. There's Death Runners. Death Runners will be very good against these units as well. And there's also Great Cannons. The Great Cannons are still functional. At least two of them are. It looks like the Hammer of the Witches was taken out. But the Great Cannon could be an X Factor as well. So Crabbling does have his Assassin here. He's got to be careful, though. The Assassin is going to fight Gotrek. I don't know if that's going to work. Or maybe he's running past him. Not where, I'm sure where he's going. I'm a little bit confused here. Although that's oh, never mind. That was the Assassin from the same team. So here, this could be a good opportunity for Tank and Crabbling to get back in the game. If they can get their characters and kill the enemy Gotrek and the enemy Amber Wizard, that would be nice to get rid of the caster for sure. In the back, Crabbling is able to somehow stabilize Skrulk. So Skrulk has come back. He's got 437 HP, very, very low. There's some Death Runners coming in, which probably will be able to help seal his fate. Of course, they do have that bonus for his infantry, which is quite nice. But if they can secure their Skrulk and their Hero Goon Squad, that could certainly change things up. In the back, North Nana and the Empire Skaven Alliance does have some Warp Grinders left. Over here, let's take a look at what's fighting. So Skaven Slaves for the Dwarf, for the Empire Alliance, and it looks like they're overwhelming some Dwarf Warriors. But Grombrindle has no fear, has been popped. Excuse me, guys. 1 second. Just woke up, so clearing out the old voice. You guys know how it is. So Gromby here is fighting, and it looks like they're going after a little bit of Gotrek on Gotrek crime here. As we have Felix, we have all the heroes just fighting. Oh, and the Assassin coming in for the rear shank. I mean, honestly, this is how Crabbling and Tank pull this game back. If they just use their Hero Goon Squad to really goon out the enemy heroes here, that could certainly be very powerful. Because Deathmaster is very low, as is the Assassin. You still have the cannon back here, so honestly, the Skaven Empire Alliance could fall back and just use their cannon and kind of harass with the Deathmaster and some of these other Death Runners and more mobile units they have, which wouldn't be a bad idea. Swarv has lost his Amber Wizard. It looks like he's fully shattered. And guys, the balance of power is kind of creeping back a little bit, as it looks like, oh man, did they just take out the enemy Gotrek? They did, look at him. Oh, he's just facing the dirt there. So yeah, Bellegarde took, or Grombrindle took a little bit of damage, but Tank and Crabling are rallying. Their hero goon squad is doing so much work. And it looks like the Warp Grinders here are able to do some decent lockdown on the Dwarf Infantry, but I don't know if they're going to be able to stop this goon squad. An Assassin plus Gotrek, Felix, and I'm pretty sure Felix will lend a helping hand to this Assassin and actually heal him, which is quite hilarious. There still are a ton of Death Runners, though. Death Runners are very solid against this type of stuff. And Marcus Wolfhard is still here. Marcus has a fair amount of ammo. He has 13 shots, so Marcus could probably goon out Bellegarde with the remaining ammunition if he wants to. But it looks like he's opting to go after Gotrek here. Marcus Wolfhard falling back, going to be pulling back to the safety of his Skaven friends. The most trustworthy of allies in all of the old world. Okay. Swarb saying caster blocked the arrow. Oh, okay, he was just talking about something from earlier. This is a very close game, though. Oh, but the gooning attempt coming in. North Nana and Deathmaster able to isolate Grombrindle back here. That's so smooth. You see these guys are a little bit overextended. The Assassins are coming in for the kill. Gromby's in a little bit of trouble here as the Assassins swarm all over him. Felix comes back to try and rescue Grombrindle, and it looks like he is able to do that. Man, this is insane. And now the Assassin of Crabling coming back in, but oh no. The Flash Bomb was able to get them, so the Flash Bomb is slowing these characters. And now the counterpunch from the heroes of the old world. Will Deathmaster be taken out by Felix Jaeger? Maybe so. Oh, but it looks like Grombrindle gets knocked over and is broken and is killed. But we still have Felix. But Felix is alone now. Granted, he has the Assassin. Are they going to be able to win this? It looks like Deathmaster snitch. Is he still here? It looks like Deathmaster did go down as well. So Deathmaster pretty much fell. Oh, look at this. This is a classic situation. You have Deathmaster and the White Dwarf both fallen side by side. Attrition across the board. However, it looks like Swarv and North Nana are going to bring this one back. Granted, over here we do have Gotrek chasing down Marcus Wolfhard. Oh man, Marcus gets no-scoped. Just taken out. Negative 42. And Gotrek certainly quite happy with that victory. He has shattered Marcus. But, I mean, there's just too much left. Over here, Felix is broken. He's going to get chased off by Death Runners. The Empire Cannon Crew is coming in to get their hands dirty. I just don't see how the Dwarf Skaven Alliance will come back in this matchup. And here, we have Gotrek, the Mighty Slayer, coming in to fulfill his doom. Granted, his clone has already fulfilled his doom here in this battle. But that's pretty much all they have left. I don't think there's anything else. So it's basically just going to be a grind at this point. Oh, actually, they have the Assassin as well. So he's not alone. Maybe if Felix was with them, maybe they'd have a chance of grinding this out. But over here, the assassination attempts have proved to have been very, very good. As the Assassin's Trophy is going to be pushing Felix back, making him very squishy. And that's pretty much it, I think. There's still a cannon online too, so like even if Swarv and North Nana want to fall back, they can also just like shoot Gotrek with the cannon. And it looks like they're still doing that, like just shooting into friendly troops. So they're treating these Empire allies basically as Skaven slaves here as they shoot in. What a comeback though, man. I really thought North Nana and Swarv were in huge trouble. I mean, in the beginning, Marcus got gooned, their cannons got gooned, they lost their mortars instantly. The firepower from the Dwarven Skaven Alliance was and Super Team was really incredible. But the Death Runner flank was very valuable and actually worked really well. It was able to just cause so much disruption and discord in that back line. Just insane stuff. Although, was that balance of power creeping back towards the middle? No way. That would be absurd. Oh, it's because Felix came back. Oh, Felix came back, guys, and killed the assassin and pushed him off the battlefield. Oh my god. Felix with the steel chair. And now he's fighting these Death Runners, which is really tough. But if Felix can hold and Gotrek and the assassin can get to him, that could be game. That could be brutal. Oh no. Felix coming back is a disaster. How did he let that happen? He must have let him get a little bit far ahead and tried to turn around. And Felix is trying to get away and get to his allies here. 1 leadership, 4 leadership. Is he going to stabilize? Negative 24, 7, 4. Oh, and Felix is broken again. Now let's see if Gotrek as well as the assassin can protect Felix from breaking off the battlefield. If they can, that means they have access to healing again, which is going to be so busted here in this situation. So the assassin's going to be charging in to halt these guys up. Will Felix come back? His leadership is stabilized, but it still takes some time for him to come back. This is big here. This is actually really big. 17, 14 leadership. Very close to the edge of the battlefield. Will he rally? I don't think so. I think the Death Runners are too close by. And Felix, he needs to come back if they want a chance to win. And he's gone. And I think that's going to be army losses here. The assassin is wavering. And basically Gotrek is going to get dragged down. Now, had Felix come back and they fought shoulder to shoulder with that healing, I honestly think that Tank and Crabling might have won that. And I think the mistake they made there is actually having Felix try and run from that fight, because then he starts taking damage in the back instead of fighting. And he loses the fight. It tanks his leadership. But, man, that was really close, actually, guys. What a nail-biter. GG. And Gotrek is going to be the last man standing here. 539. So it seems like the Gotrek does get the heal, but it doesn't go off for some reason. It's so bugged, that heal. 188 on his HP, 82, and down he goes here in just a second. And that's going to be game 2 in this best of 3, going to North Nana and Swarv. Well played to those two fine gentlemen, clawing their way back from the pits of despair in the rough early game to pull out the W. All right, so let's update the scorecards here. Man, the Death Runner and Empire Knight like Alpha Strike was so nice. All right, so let's update the scorecard. The Hungry Rats. That was a crazy good game. That was a crazy good game. All right, there we go. Well played indeed, my friends. We'll go to the Red Desert. No, Red Desert's kind of a crappy map. Let's do, I really want to do Essence of Chaos, but that's just so troll. We'll do something a little bit more dynamic than that. Tower of Hoth. GG indeed, man. That was so good. Yeah, the cannons in the back line got jumped so hard. It was pretty insane. I couldn't believe it. Vigo says he knew the Skaven would win. Yeah, a very solid prediction. What's that, guys? All right, we're all good. So as far as the money goes, I don't remember what the exact count is on medium funds. I think it's like it's 12.4 for large. I think medium is like 7 or 6 or 7 or something. I can't remember. I could ask them. I'll try and get that information for you over the course of the stream. I'm sure somebody in chat can check if they have their game open. The Dawi mirror. Oh god. Oh, so Swarv is saying his caster blocked Marcus's focus shot. That's what he was trying to tell us. So let's see what the blind picks are from the two players. All right, so for tank, we got... Oh, they're going full dirty mode right now. Full dirty mode. All right, so let's see what the enemy picks. Wookie. No, don't put him in here. No. He'll bark at me. Poochie. Wookie's here, guys. He's saying hello to me with my lovely wife. They're saying chest. Did you teach Wookie Polish? Yeah. You learned faster than I did. Yeah. I love you, darling. All right, so just waiting for the picks here from Swarv and his faction. So Greenskins and Counts against Vampire Counts and Tomb Kings. All right. So, Tank and Krablin going for one of the more traditional, really nasty builds in 2v2, which is using Vampire Counts and Tomb Kings. It's really brutal. And then we have Greenskins and Vampire Counts for the other faction. This will be really interesting. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. And remember, guys, for anyone playing in the tournament, no dual casters. So here, let me go ahead. No dual casters with same spells on team. So basically, you can't have like two players both spamming Invocation. All right. Here we go. Perfect. Honestly, it just depends, Brandon, on like the day and if I have like you know, the room cleaned up and everything. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see. Very good. So it looks like Swarv is here. I think Decoli has to reconnect real quick. Let me go ahead and double check here. Perfect. VC and Tomb King is really strong. Well, it used to be the case that the Tomb Kings could be healed by Invocation of Nehek. Yeah, so it's like you could drop Invo to like heal up your Tomb Kings like characters and other things like that. I don't remember if they changed it. Dario, yeah, Wookie knows some Polish. The stream's been going for a period of time, about 30, 40 minutes, I think. We're making pretty good time, yeah, about 50 minutes, and we're on our first best of 3, so we have another one after this. But yeah, it's basically the fact that it's like 2 unbreakable factions that have a lot of terror, and also the healing's really strong. Now, what I would really like to see, actually, would be the Dark Elf Death Star, like, trying to counter this. So you come in with, like, Wrathy and, like, all those melee attack debuffing characters. That would be really cool, but again, it's blind pick, so you don't know what your opponent's bringing. But regardless, some Wrathy Death Star could be pretty good against a lot of different builds. So we're on Tower of Hoth here. I need to set up a rules page for this. I was pretty unprepared with that. Ark and the Black still heal vampire counts? I don't know. I would imagine so. Mikhail, you just have to join my Discord. And then within that, I'll put a link over the course of the stream. And then within the Discord, there's Dismas Bannerlord stream will be tomorrow. Yes, we're going to be doing our campaign stream tomorrow. Don't you worry, brother. And yeah, so that's pretty damn strong. But yeah, you just join the Discord, and I have open signups. Anyone's welcome to join with a partner, but this season is currently closed. I have all the teams signed up, but we will be having another season as soon as this one's over. So no stress, brother.
The dogs are cold. I need to hear.
Yeah, grab it. They're impressed that you've taught Wookiee Polish.
I could teach high schoolers English. I think I can teach anybody anything.
That's right.
You need anything?
I'm good, darling. Thank you. All right, let's see what the players are up to. Sorry about the noise there. We were just shuffling around. We live in a very like old house, so the floors are really like creaky and everything. So like if I move at all, the floor like while I'm standing at my standing desk, the floor will like creak super loud. Start when ready. So we have double counts here. I wonder if Swarv is going to go like with Giants and a Ragnarok Spider, or if he's going to go for like a Mass Greenskin Daka line. I would probably go like double Giant here, to be honest. They're really good against Vampire monsters and against Tomb King monsters. Like double Giant Spider, you know, for your 3 big goons, and then just like treat yourself from there, you know? Francis says, Tomb Kings and Vampire counts look like the Russians got their nuclear arsenal out. Yeah. But yeah, the 2v2 season is, I basically have an open sign up for like a period of, I had an open sign up for like 2 weeks. So anyone could join over the course of 2 weeks. And then basically how it works is we're going to have a qualifier until every single team is played that signed up. And the winner of all those will go into like a Champions League, basically, where we'll have like a one-day tournament playing with all the top 2v2 teams, which will be a lot of fun. I'm very excited for it. And yeah, also been having a really good time with Bannerlord. That game is so addictive. Oh my god. Granted, you know, I still have that same addiction for Total War. The thing is, Bannerlord's a little bit easier on my hand, which is nice. So I'm able to play like a bunch of games. Whereas like Total War, I'm pretty much after I play 3 to 5 games in a day, I'm like my hands shot, because Total War is so micro intensive compared to Bannerlord. A lot of time in Bannerlord, you're just like riding around and clicking idly. Like it's not like super aggressive like micro like this. By the way, I have another game 2 between myself and Exploding Hamster, the great German content creator. We'll be going up this weekend, and honestly, guys, the game 2 with him that I have is probably one of the best games I've had on the channel like in ages. It was so good. So Swarv is making some final tweaks here. We'll see what he's got going. Hey, Misha, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Appreciate you guys. If you like the stream, it does help me out quite a bit. Really means a lot. And here we are, the third 2v2 matchup today. Krabling and Tank, the Russian team, facing off against Swarv and North Nana. I don't know where they're from. I think Swarv is Polish. I don't know about North Dakoli. But alas, I think they just met, actually. So really good synergy for 2 guys who've just met. I'm fairly certain. And yeah, they're doing a great job. Really proud of these guys. That comeback last game was incredible with the Death Runners. Oh my god, that was so nice. So now we're on the Tower of Hoth. A pretty nice open field map. Granted, there are plenty of trees to hide in if you're so inclined. Granted, vampire counts, greenskins, tomb kings, there's not going to be too much hiding in trees. I'm fairly certain there's going to be a lot of pressure. Granted, tomb kings can play this differently. They can use these Shopy Grapos and like a vampire count front line with like Graveguard and zombies and stuff. And they could play that way if they want to. They don't have to, you know, they could use a casket. Oh, that's what we're going to see probably, a casket. I bet you we'll see a casket of souls. That would be incredibly awesome. I'm going to try and stream more. The past couple days I've been working on a lot of fun videos. That's why I haven't been streaming as much. I've been recording. I did the top 3 best heavy cav in Total War Warhammer. I did the best unit for every faction in Total War Warhammer. I also did a guide to combat in Bannerlord, which will be going up probably this weekend as well. So a lot of really fun, more edited and kind of long form videos are on the way. Yeah. One sec, guys. Perfect. Optimus Pine, yes, man. Yeah, one of my hands is a little bit messed up, unfortunately, yeah. But, you know, I hope to... I was actually pretty close to getting surgery once to, like, try and fix the issue, but then all this apocalypse happened, and, you know, you can't really do stuff like that right now, so I'm just kind of playing the waiting game at the moment. But, you know, I think it's a good time. I'm glad I didn't get it, because if I had gotten that surgery, I would have a lot of trouble playing like Bannerlord and also continuing content in the channel during this very trying time. Yes. Give me those robot hands. I'll take it. All right, guys, here we are. Let's take a look at the army of the Tomb Kings tanking Crabling. It's going to be Zombie in the front line. He does also have some Blood Knights. Looks like a White King with a Corpse Guard and a Blood Dragon Vampire Lord up in the sky. No surprise there. So very combat-centric army, but really not too many monsters, actually. Going for the double White King, I think that's really cool. White Kings are pretty good in combat. Scab's Graith is also quite nice. The activated sword that they do have. And yeah, not too many monsters. For the Tomb Kings, it's going to be Skeleton Spearmen, a very well-rounded army. Not really going too all in on like the cheese of like having a big blob of mean stuff. A couple archers. He does have the Casket of Souls. I knew it! So Katep is extremely good against greenskins, and let me show you why. So he has an item called the Bonewood Staff, which whenever he casts a spell, so anything, it adds 15 seconds to the cooldown of all of your opponent's stuff. So that means that the greenskins cannot use their Wa in the early game, which is very, very punishing for sure, because it adds 15 seconds to the cooldown, and the greenskins cannot recharge the Wa without being in combat. It's a very, very nasty combo. It's got the big Sphinx, archers, some Tomb Guard, and that's pretty much it, yeah. Very well-rounded army. Honestly, I was expecting more of a nasty goon squad, but it seems like they just want to play kind of a safer game here. And now for the forces here of Swarv and North Nana, 1-1 here in this series. We got zombies in the front, orc boys, some biggins, I would imagine. The troll toll's coming. Oh no, cryptors. I thought they were trolls. I got so excited. These are cryptors, and they have pretty good mass. They can block things up and hold constructs in place and apply poison. We have the Arachnarok Spider. And in the back, it looks like Wurzag. Doomdiver Catapult. A goose and a dragon. So yeah, pretty good gooning here for these guys. For better gooning, for sure. The Terrorgeist, plus the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, plus the Queen, plus Effigy of the Get. I mean, that's really, really nasty gooning, to say the least. All right, there we go. Sorry, guys, I'm just kind of clearing my throat out and trying to mute the microphone when I do that, so you guys are spared that noise. DJ Kotep is here. No mercy, no quarter shall be shown by the old Bone Daddy as we get into this battle. I just use, what mouse do I use? It's like a razor. I don't know. It's like a razor adder. It's like named after some sort of a snake or something. I've had it for like 3 years. My equipment's getting very old, actually, so this year I'll probably be upgrading my PC and things like that. I do have a new processor that's really, really strong, so that'll save me like probably $500-600 on making the new PC as well. Yes, it is time. Let us see if the Casket of Souls can carry. The Gooning's certainly very powerful for North Nana and company. However, there is a Blood Dragon Vampire Lord for tank, and we do also have the Sphinx back here who has anti-large and fire damage. So, I mean, as long as he's really careful, the Sphinx should be able to fend back the Terror Goose plus the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord for North Nana. And the Casket's shooting in. What is it going after? Looks like the Casket is going after the Orc Boys. I would imagine it should switch to the Biggins here in just a second. I wonder what kind of damage it would do against like Cryptors and stuff as well. Looks like the Fellbats from North Nana are going to be harrying and attacking the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. Yeah, and you can see here they're basically just trying to slow him down. Although, you know, the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord for the Russians can fall back to the Blessed Legion, to some of these archer units. So there is some cover from the ground. Oh no, look at this! The Blood Knights come down from the hills. North Nana does not see this coming, and the Knights of Red Keep are going to massacre these Crypt Horrors. Anti-large, fully erect charge right there. Let's go ahead and look at the HP. Oh my god, look at the devastation. Those Cryptors just got crumped so hard by that Blood Knight charge. Beautiful play there by Tank. And Tank is a Vampire Count main. That is his best faction, so I certainly think he's going to perform pretty well here. So the Blood Knight's coming in for a hammering charge, but he's got to make sure he doesn't get caught by all the Spider Riders and all the different trash units here. Oh, this is dangerous. He's taking a fight back here. Granted, I mean, they will massacre the Goblins here. So the Knights of Red Keep, again, charging in. Boom! Right into that Goblin formation. Beautiful charge. The Goblins, of course, taking some huge shock damage. So far, the Blood Knight's proving to be heavy MVPs, like heavy MVPs here. So the harassing Fellbats here, taken out by the Archers. The Blood Knights do fall back here, the ones that really just wrecked these Crypt Horrors. And now the Casket of Souls is shooting in quite happily here. It seems like the Tomb Kings have a pretty good position here. The Skeleton Archers and Blessed Legion should be able to actually take out the Arachnarok Queen relatively effectively. Oh no, is this going to be a Foot of Gork? Oh no! Is Tank going to see this coming? Tank, you got to react! Oh, the Foot of Gork, baby! Crushing those Blood Knights, half HP. Beautiful counterplay here by Swarv, and a Brain Buster for good measure. That was really, really nice. Now in the backfield here, these Blood Knights were able to kill the Spider Riders, and now they're going for the artillery piece. These Blood Knights in the backfield proving to be an absolute menace. They're occupying the attention here of a Terrorgeist, of the Blood Dragon Lord, and really that's rough. And now they're going to get the Doomdiver Catapult. Man, huge value from the Blood Knights, but that Foot of Gork was also a thing of beauty. However, Tank and Crabling holding back no punches. The Arachnarok Spider overextends. It gets surrounded here by the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord with all of its buff pop. Oh, look at this! Cursed Blades is popped here on the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord to give him a bonus versus large and 757 weapon strength. Man, Tank and Crabling playing so good right now. It looks like Hotep is going to be dropping a Sandstorm. And yeah, pretty big misplay here by the alliance of the Greenskins and Vampire Counts to send their big heroes over to chase those Blood Knights when this big fight's happening, because it's allowed Wurzog to almost die, it allowed the Spider to die, and I really think that Tank and Crabling are in a very dominant position. The Blood Knights have been MVPs this game. Doomdiver Catapult's been taken out. 2 Spider Riders taken out by those Blood Knights. The Crypt Horrors taken out by Blood Knights. I mean, man, they've just been all over the place. And that's personally why I think, a bit of a spoiler for one of my future videos, I think Blood Knights are the best heavy cav unit in the game. Because they can be healed, and they're also really good. So Blessed Legion, missile units are shooting in here. Looks like we do have a big old Alpha Strike fight. So the Sphinx going after the Goose of North Nana and also the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. And you can see this is going to be a pretty quick one for Tank and Crabling. I think they will win this game, and I just don't see how other guys, North Nana and Swarv, are going to pull this one back. Wurzog's running for the hills. Blood Knights are coming in once again, outmaneuvering the forces and charging into the exposed hide here of the Crypt Horrors, which are just hard countered by Blood Knights. Blood Knights do so much damage against lightly armored large targets. Wurzog's running for the hills. It looks like North Nana's Blood Dragon Vampire Lord and Goose have been pretty much just pitted down and lost here. Yeah, the Archers are shooting in, Kotep shooting happily. All the Tomb King's Archers are shooting extremely happily as well. And the Greenskins, you know, I have to say, I think the Greenskin aspect of things was really good. The Foot of Gorks and the Brain Busters were very solid, but I think the Spider just getting wrecked like that. Oh, nice Foot of Gork right there. It wrecks the Blood Knights again. I have to say, Swarv's Foot of Gorks this game have been heroic, have been valiant. He's been doing a great job with those, but I really think the over chase back here was a huge misplay. You need your monsters in that big fight. Like, had the Spider been getting attacked and then you had a Terrorgeist plus a Blood Knight or a Blood Dragon Vampire Lord coming in to help the Spider, that could have like won the battle, right? That could have swung the entire game. But here, Tank and Crabling are going to be advancing on, and that is that. There you go, guys. Glorious victory here for Super Team 1 as they advance on to the finals of today's qualifier to face the winner of our next round. Blood Knights are so freaking cool, yeah. I think they're the best heavy cav unit in the game. And again, I made a whole video on that. You guys will see it soon, so you'll see the explanations and all that good stuff. All right, so we have Blood Knights, yes. All sorts of good stuff. Well played. Yeah, and you know, honestly, I liked both compositions. But yeah, it just came down to that big monster fight. The Spider getting gooned, that was too much. GG, well played. Tank and Crab, see you in finals. Stand by. All right, very good. So let me go ahead and tag the other gentlemen playing in the tournament today. So next up on our team signups, let's zoom up and see. We have Zimmerix's Grail Peasants with Ice Power Total War. And then we have the Tree and the Pig, which is Willow and Lycus. So Willow and Zimmerix, gather your teams. Perfect. Very good. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this goodness here. I've certainly been having quite a bit of fun. Yeah, Swarv was getting some really good Footagorics. Those were really nasty. I mean, he hit the Blood Knights like every single time. He was. Yeah, the magic usage was really good, Lycus. I agree. But, you know, I think the hero fight not going their way was the biggest problem. Yeah. Yeah, Michaela, I agree. I think companions are really good. However, I'm not including RORs in my assessment. All right, so Willow's here. The teams are joining up, so let's go ahead and rename the nameplates here. So we're going to zoom up here. So Willow's team is the Tree and the Pig. So I'm just going to do a Tree and Pig for short. So obviously that was a 2-1 for Super Team, but yeah, that's fine. Tree and Pig. Their team is called the Tree and the Pig. And the nameplate here, let's go ahead and update this. Thank you guys for joining today. I know a lot of folks, a lot of the regulars are quite addicted to Bannerlord, so it's been trickier to get people to play in tournaments, but thankfully 2v2 is here. So, all right. So, and then the next team is called the Grail Peasants, which I love that name. Grail Peasants. There we go. Very fun. Alrighty. Everything looks good in the hood. Yes, that was there was 3 games there. That went to game 3. Yes, correct. And now we're going to the next match, which is, looks like they're all set. Okay. Send me blind picks on Discord. For the next map, let's go ahead and do the Warpstone Mine. It's a really fun 2v2 map. Medium funds, I think, is a sweet spot. I think it's really good for this. The players aren't, like, working with nothing. Off topic, but where does the meme from Skaven don't exist come from? So it's an old Warhammer Fantasy meme, basically. It's kind of like, so the Skaven are basically a race of rat people who live in, you know, under the world. And it's kind of like, within the Empire, there's like conspiracy theories about whether or not the Skaven exist. And the Inquisition and you know, the kind of the enforcers and witch hunters are kind of like saying they don't exist to keep people calm. So yeah, the witch hunters will be like, oh, the Skaven don't exist. Carry on, citizen, you know, as a Skaven are like eating a peasant in an alley or something, right? So it's kind of like a whole meme about like how, you know, people say Skaven don't exist, but, you know, they actually do, and they're causing a lot of problems. It's just like the Inquisition trying to hide an issue. It's kind of like how in modern day politics, right? People will be like, oh yeah, this isn't going to affect you, and then it does, and, you know, similar kind of thing. So tomorrow, Francis, there will probably be Bannerlord multiplayer video on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. Bannerlord campaign stream tomorrow. All right, so we have so Widow. Let's see. So for Zimmeriks, we have that, and then let me pull up the other team here. So it's Sartosa and Skaven versus Wood Elves and Counts. All right, so we have Skaven and Wood Elves versus Counts and Sartosa. Wait, no. Sartosa and Skaven versus Wood Elf and Counts. It's going to be cool. Probably see some Wave Watcher sniping for sure. All right, players are picking their armies. All right, very good. All is well in the realm. Stylian83 says, sweet turn. I asked for a 2v2 and it has been gifted. I got you covered, man. I got you, man. No mercy. Yeah, 2v2 is fun. It's fun occasionally. Yeah, I mean, Skaven could actually exist. Oh my god, imagine if there was actually a race of sewer-dwelling Skaven in real life. That would be terrifying. Skaven are actually really scary. Like, they're kind of looked at in a comedic light, but like in reality, they would be really terrifying. Yeah, New York has some Skaven. There's some big rats in New York City, absolutely. So the thing is, Florian, and kind of how it's depicted in lore, from my understanding, I have read a couple Warhammer Fantasy books, is that the Skaven, if they were able to unify, or if they were willing to unify and get all the clans together and not fight amongst one another, they could like overwhelm the world, right? However, within the lore, Skaven are so selfish and Machiavellian. They just, they just are out for their own tails, right? So basically, you'll get like 5 Skaven armies, right? They're like, hey, let's go take out Nuln. Let's cause some problems. Let's really just wreck the Empire. But once they get there, each of the Skaven warlords wants to basically get all the credit for the victory in the eyes of the council as well as the Horned Rat. So essentially what ends up happening is the Skaven armies sabotage one another. They'll trap the other armies. They'll assassinate the enemy leaders or allied leaders, or quote unquote allied. So Skaven always just kind of undo themselves by fighting amongst one another. But if they were able to unify, it's kind of inferred in a lot of the lore and readings that they would be like one of the biggest threats in Warhammer Fantasy. So that's that. So we have Vampire Coast and Skaven against Counts and Wood Elves. I wonder how they're going to play this. I would imagine Zimmeriks will probably go with a bunch of Way Watchers. Yeah. So that's really how it is. Yes. So Jason Denny, Mr. Pig brings up a great point here that there were some Skaven who actually chewed on my internet cable a while back and killed my internet for like a couple weeks. Well, my streaming at least. My favorite of the Chaos Gods in terms of like what I like to play in tabletop is probably Nurgle. I really like playing Nurgle armies. I like Nurgle and Tzeentch probably. Yeah. Because like the whole idea of Nurgle is kind of cool. These like badass Baroque like lumbering monsters that are very like, kind of grim dark. And then also you have Tzeentch, which is like the kind of infinite mysteries of the universe kind of thing, which I think is really cool. Joseph Simpson, got to catch one of your streams. Watch all your YouTube vids, man. Keep it up. I will. Thank you. What's more dangerous, fully unified Skaven or fully unified Greenskins? I would say Skaven probably, simply because like their technology and what they're capable of, if they like work together, is pretty insane. Like you could have like a huge Greenskin WoW, but if the Skaven like were really got their shit together and like they could just nuke them, and like use all their combined forces to probably overwhelm them. Granted, I mean, I'm sure some lore folks would tell you the opposite because the Greenskins are kind of like have the same problem in that they always fight amongst each other. But if you got a huge Greenskin WoW together, like that would be like pretty, because like the average Greenskin Savage Orc or Black Orc could just wreck so many Skaven in combat. But Skaven have the technology advantage and kind of the advantage of planning and scheming because, Greenskins are a little bit more brutish. Okay, so it looks like one person may have jumped out for a second. I'm sure he'll be back. So players are picking their armies. Make sure there's no questions about rules. Looks like we're all good. All right. We haven't had any lizards today, which I'm really surprised about. I feel like lizardmen would be have some really good tools in 2v2. Yeah, the Skaven basically nuked the moon. And then the moon comes down and Lord Mazdamundi stops the moon from hitting the earth using his psychic power. And then he stops it, but then Lord Mazdamundi in the end times basically blows up from doing it. His brain explodes from the pressure of literally stopping a moon from slamming into the earth or the old world. Yeah. Yeah, Skaven are, but the thing is again, is if Skaven are like very, very like unwilling to work together. Like Greenskins occasionally, from what I've read, will like, they're like, all right, there's a big fight this way. Let's all go together so we can be even more fighty, right? But like Skaven are so terrible to one another. Like their whole culture is about betraying and not trusting one another. So that's the reason why Skaven always get undone. They come in, like in one of the Gotrek and Felix books, well, I guess, I don't know, is it a spoiler? Let me think. Nah. But like when you're reading the paragraphs from Gracier Thanquol within the Gotrek and Felix books, like he's constantly thinking about how he's going to get betrayed. Like every like third thought he has is like he's getting betrayed. How can I out betray the betrayer? Like that is like every Skaven thought. Like there's a situation where like the Skaven in I'm not going to tell you guys what book, but there's a situation in which there's a situation in one of the books where like the Skaven are about to win some huge like battle, right? And like conquer a major area. But then like, one of the clans goes to like execute this great plan, but like the other clan leader doesn't want that Skaven clan to get the victory for like their ingenious creation that's going to win it. So they literally just like massacre them all in like an ambush. Like it's just absurd. Yeah. So even in the Warhammer books, the scholar said that unified Skaven would conquer the world. Yeah, I think so. The lore for Skaven and Dark Elves makes me wonder how societies like this could function. Well, function is it should be in air Yeah, see, Michaela in chat saying clan wars got to power and carry Gate Peaks by destroying their allied clan alongside the dwarf. See, there you go, perfect. I mean, what if they just work together? How much easier would that be, right? But they just don't. They just don't. It's just not how they are. Skaven literature is really funny, and honestly, if you guys want the best like depiction of Skaven, just read the Gotrek and Felix books, because like there's a couple perspectives. You get Felix, obviously. You get a couple off perspectives of like side characters like Max Schreiber and Elrica or Valrica. I forget her name. She's the Kislev warrior's daughter. And then, but Gracier Thankful is like the other most common perspective, and he's so funny. Oh my god, he's just like such a troll. He just like huffs Warpstone and just goes crazy with magic in battle. Oh my god. Yeah, and they think very differently too. One of my favorite depictions of Skaven in Warhammer Fantasy is like is when it like shows the Skaven like interacting with corrupt officials. So basically, the Skaven will send like quote unquote emissaries up to the main world, and the emissaries will like find like corrupt Empire officials and corrupt just basically corrupt folks within the Empire, and they'll like barter with them and trade with them and pretend to be their allies, and like they'll give them things, but like in reality they're just kind of getting deeper and deeper into the system. It's hilarious, and they always like write notes in this like haggard like rat handwriting, and oh my god, it's really funny. There's actually a scene where there's an Empire masquerade going on, like a ball party, right? And so there's a group of Skaven assassins who are going to like take someone out, and one of the Skaven assassins like kind of falls from his perch and ends up in the masquerade ball with all the Empire folks, and like all like the drunk Empire not parishioners, but all the drunk Empire like masquerade attendees are like looking at him thinking it's actually a costume. They're like, oh wow, that's quite a costume there, and it's like because it's this Eshin assassin with like a hood and he's just like all hunched, Oh man, there's so many good scenes in the Gotrek and Felix books. I could do story time all day. Yeah. I haven't, Kenny. No. So Narrow. I watch Tabletop Tactics a lot. I watched Winter. So Tabletop Tactics is really good. Winter's SEO is really good. Rerolling Ones if you're looking for like fantasy and Age of Sigmar kind of stuff. Those are the ones I watch primarily. I mean, there's a bunch. Hellstorm War Gaming I watch for more competitive stuff. So yeah, there's a bunch of channels I watch. Hopefully that helps you. But Tabletop Tactics has really good quality. I would recommend just going to watch them. It's really, really good. All right. So players are ready. Ice Power Total War. We have the Wood Elves, the Vampire Counts against Skaven and Sartosa. All hail the mighty. They're arising from the deep. With crooked tails and incredible Skaven. Yeah, they have some incredible Skaven. We'll see. I think of all the Warhammer original soundtracks, I think that was the best one, the Vampire Coast. It got me so hyped for the game and the DLC. You guys like story time? Yeah, comfy story time, I know. A book I'm reading right now. So currently, as far as the Gotrek and Felix series goes, I'm on Vampire Slayer, which is the 6th book. But as far as I took a break from that to read some 40k, I'm reading The Lords of Silence. So Lords of Silence is a book that follows a Death Guard warband in the 41st millennia. So you get to see like how the Death Guard work and function as a culture, like after they're corrupted. And it's really interesting actually, because so many of the books are just from the perspective of space marines, and they're like, oh yes, brother, we must fight the honor of the empire, for the emperor. But it's really interesting to see a different perspective, seeing like, these like their mindset, like how they look at the world, like how like they're not like, it's weird. It kind of like, yeah, it's really cool to read that. And the Death Guard Plague Marines and stuff, and they basically look at Nurglings as like little pets. It's so funny. They call them little lords, and the Nurglings just like waddle around their feet, and the Death Guard Plague Marines like pet them on the head and stuff. It's so funny. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, so that book's pretty crazy. Like learning about the Death Guard culture and like how they operate and like the inner workings of like their thought process. They're kind of like warrior monks in a very weird way. Like a lot of the other traitor Space Marine factions are just kind of like bloodthirsty and they're filled with hatred. But it's a lot of the Death Guard. Some it's different between them. But like the main character, whose name is Vorks, he doesn't even hate like a lot of the Nurgle Plague Marines and like Nurglites, like they don't hate the Imperium and they don't hate their enemies. They like pity them in a very strange way. They like pity them. They're like, oh, they haven't experienced the gifts of Nurgle. Oh man, we have to help them. It's a very strange perspective. Yeah, Masters of Oath and Steel is really good. If you're a Dwarf fan, I would recommend reading that. But Lords of Silence is pretty cool. There's some big battles. And, you know, Chaos in 40k is kind of like the same as Skaven in Fantasy in that they just, like, if they could unify, they would be so strong, but they always, like, are backstabbing each other. But yeah, the Plague Marines petting the Nurglings is pretty hilarious. Yeah. And there we have it, guys. Let's jump into the battle. Enough story time. Here we go, guys. Game 1 in our second best of 3 today. It's going to be Ice Power Total War and his ally here. Let me mouse over. A little bit of lag, so hopefully it'll subside. You never know. When you pull in the whole crew, there can be some lag and technical issues, which, of course, are the bane of 2v2 tournaments. So if it continues lagging, we can obviously change it up. It looks like it's kind of stabilizing, which is fine. So this one may be a little bit laggier, guys, so bear with us as we work through this. It is, again, unavoidable in 2v2s from time to time. So Zimrix has Eternal Guard. It's basically just a Death Star. Yeah, it's like he's got Durthu, he's got a Branch Wraith to give the melee attack buff, Zombies, Eternal Guard, and Treekin, the Firebark Elders. It's just a Death Star. He does also have 2 Banshees as well. Banshee's very solid. Granted, there is plenty of magic damage on the Skaven roster, so I'm sure some Jezzails could snipe them and be very effective here. And we have a Blood Dragon Vampire Lord on foot. So it looks like here for Zimrix and Ice Power, it's going to be a pretty tanky just Death Star. That's it. That is it. All right. And now for the forces of Sartosa. In the Skaven, we have Ikit Claw, the Mad Rat Inventor, fighting with Aranis Assault Spite, which is pretty cool. A Rotting Leviathan, a Gunnery Wight, it looks like no Vampire Fleet Captain. We have a couple of Jezzails, it looks like a Mortar as well to try and pound into some of the Wood Elf Archers. And yeah, mostly, wow, Storm Vermin. You almost never see those. I think Storm Vermin are pretty bad, but I guess against Wood Elves and Vampire Counts, it gives you something that can hold, I suppose. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So it looks like for Skaven, it's mainly going to be Chaff units with some Storm Vermin heavy support, 1 Jezzail, Plague Priest, and Ikit Claw. And for the Vampire Coast, it's going to be Aranessa, a Crab, and it looks like a Caster as well. Yeah, Jezzails don't do magic damage. That's right. I always forget about that. But yeah, I mean, like, Liber Bubonicus is potentially something you can do. The Doom Wheel actually has magical lasers as well. So there is magic. But, yeah. For some reason, I used to think Jezzails did magic damage, but they don't, I guess. Well, let's go ahead and double check this. Yeah, no, they don't. The Poison Wind Mortars do, but of course that wouldn't be terribly effective against Banshees. The Blood Dragon Vampire Lord is still very good on foot because he has, what's it called? He has the Helm of Discord, which is the main reason why you bring him, basically. You bring the Helm of Discord, you debuff. Like, that's the thing that makes him good. It's not his mounts or anything like that. A little bit of scary stuff over here. Oh, we're going to have a Scurvy Dog battle. Scurvy Dogs versus Direwolves. Direwolves have good luck, have fun. Yeah, this one will be a little bit laggier, guys, so bear with us, but it should still be watchable. This build, the Wood Elf build's interesting. Like, it's a Death Star, which is kind of cool, because, like, there's some mind games with this. Like, Durthu, like, you expect Wood Elves to have, like, missiles, right? So you kind of counterplay missiles, and then they come in with, like, you know, Durthu and a Branch Wraith and a bunch of, like, you know, high leadership spears. Skaven have the Jezzails. Jezzails could certainly do some work against the Mortis engine. What else do they have here to really shoot? Looks like the Mortars. And we have the first battle here. It's going to be the Scurvy Dog War. Scurvy Dogs fighting against Direwolves. They're both going to get rear charge. Granted, the Direwolves of Ice Power, I think, are going to get there first. Yes, here they come. All hail the mighty. So here comes the Scurvy Doggos charging into the hide here of these Direwolves. There you go. Boom, headshot. Rattling Gunners, I can't remember if they do magic damage. I mean, it looks like they should. I mean, their weapons are literally imbued with, like, warp magic, so it's kind of weird. Anyways, here Scurvy Dogs are being taken out. It looks like the Vampire Counts are able to get the edge there. Let's look at the stat lines, actually, while we're chilling here. So we have Direwolves 27 and 15, and the stat line for Scurvy Dogs is, it should be the exact same. Man, the lag is pretty rough, unfortunately. Hopefully, I wish we could find out who it was. That's one thing that would be really nice for 2v2 tournaments, like being able to see who's actually lagging. So you could replace them. 26 and 14, yeah, it's more or less the same stat line. Ikit Claw is coming as well, and if Ikit gets there, he would actually help win this fight. The Scurvy Dogs would probably break to a lot of the leadership issues. So we'll see. Yeah, Hadri's has a great point. If Jezzails did magic damage too, that would help balance them against Dwarves because they're so oppressive against Dowie. Yeah, when Ikiclaw gets in there, it certainly changes the dynamic of that battle, pushes back the direwolves, and yeah, for now we just have the Durthu blob coming in, advancing, and it looks like there's also a flanking force as well over here from the forces of the Counts and the Wood Elves. We do have 2 more dogs over here, as well as some Wild Riders, the Wild Hunters of Kurnus. Scurvy Wolves versus Dire Dogs. Yeah. The Dire Wolves are doing well, but now that Ikiclaw's here, it changes the whole game. And as a matter of fact, Ice Power is going to lose probably at least one of these Scurvy Dogs here. The other one will probably be fine, but what I would do if I were Willow is just chase it down with my Scurvy Dogs and get the value. The Mortars are shooting in, and Mortars will be pretty good against blobs, you know, if you can hit the Eternal Guard and some of the other value assets, but really there's not too much value here. It's mostly the Double Banshee and the Lord, and the Mortis Engine is really the breadwinner. 2v2 is usually connection issues. I know, PowerPoint Total War. It's a shame. I'll talk to the players after this game, and we'll see who's potentially lagging. But, you know, nothing you can do, unfortunately, but I suppose they've tried before. I obviously tell the players to make sure they have good internet, and perhaps, depending on who they're connecting to, they do. But with 4 or 5 people in a single game, there's so many variables, and like it's so hard to methodically check. Yes. Yeah, I could have them link their specs. That's something I could do. The other thing, though, I think this is, I don't know if this is performance. Maybe somebody's playing on a laptop or something. But regardless, we'll get through this game, and then I'll talk to the players and see if there's anything that we can do to remedy this problem, because I certainly don't. The first 2v2 was so good. We had no lag. It was just a beauty. Anyways, here, Anti-Boobo Sharpshooters are unleashing. Looks like now they're shooting into the dreaded Claw of Nagash. And here comes the Firebark Elders, and the zombies lagging a little bit behind some of the Scurvy Dogs for Ice Power. Oh, man, look at that micro by Ice Power, though. Beautiful. Weaving the seam. And that's a high skill play right there. And he's able to get on top of the... I'm sure Lycus is like, how did that even happen? How did this happen? How did these dogs get on my sharpshooter? And he notices it now, right? But, you know, the Plague Priest and the nearby units will react and be able to stop that. But that was really an MLG play for sure. And the problem is now that the sharpshooters might break. And if they run away from the defensive formation, there's Wild Riders back here. There's other, you know, dog units that can really put a lot of pressure on these guys. And can do some problems for sure. I know, the lag's rough. It's rough for sure, guys. But bear with me. We'll do our best. And we'll get through this match, and then again, I'll talk to the players, because I don't want to, you know, cast a best of 3 if it's going to be this laggy. So we need to come to some sort of a resolution. As a matter of fact, we could probably have the players like jump in and see what the X factor is. We could have them go test, and we'll do it to it. All right, so the frontline engagement is about underway here. The Scurvy Dogs have gotten pretty big value, but the Jezzails do kind of get away. Looks like some of them are able to waddle away from the doggos. Now in the back we have the Wild Riders, the Wild Hunters of Kurnus, who actually get a very square charge, a flush charge here on the Rotting Prometheans, and do some pretty good damage. They do have anti-large. They don't have the best AP, but again, they're still able to get that bonus versus large here and do some good work here against the crabs. But now we have some direwolves coming in, or Scurvy Dogs coming in to try and defend this position and force back these guys. But if they overextend, if Willow's Scurvy Dogs and the Zimmerix's troops, you know, if these guys overextend, the Wild Riders, yeah, just like this, can turn around and basically just Shrek them and get some more free value. So it seems like the Wild Hunters of Kurnus making some big plays so far. Now in the front, we have the Mortis Engine pushed in. We have the Blood Dragon Lord and the Banshees, both of which are going after the big old Crabbo. Oh, was that a Gaze of Nagash? We do have Gaze of Nagash as well, which is able to actually hit the Claw of Nagash, which you almost never see that, which is pretty insane. Yes, PowerPoint Total War. Let the games begin. Let's get that phone back on. Hold on, guys. I lost chat for a second. All right, there we go. Good. So the Mortis Engine does get hit with the Claw of Nagash in the back. Amazing plays here by Zimmerix so far. He's been able to really just put a pounding on the back line. And now if the crabs overextend, I would honestly just turn and fight. But it looks like he's going to try and penetrate into the back line and get on top of the Sartosa Militia. Granted, the crabs really aren't a bad pick. You know, they're not going to be able to fight back really efficiently against the Wild Hunters. Although I guess they got a little bit beat up in some of the combat they've taken here. So back in the pit fight, guys. It looks like the Spearfisher's net has been activated on the... and just pretend it's a play-by-play, like we're NFL commentators and we're pausing to look at everything as it happens. You can see here, the Claw of Nagash is going to be caught by the Spearfisher's net, which is Aranis Assault Fight's ability. So going to lock that bad boy in place. And, yeah, they're shooting. Claw of Nagash going down. There it goes. And Ikit Claw's coming in as well. He's going to be rolling in to try and shut this bad boy. But it seems like the Banshees are doing an okay job. The dogs and harassing units of Ice Power are just circling and looking for opportunities. They could collapse into the back of these militia and then curve up into the Jezzails here, which I think would be really nice. People in Games Workshop have confirmed that Warpstone is basically just uranium. That makes sense. Although it has magical properties though, because like when like the Skaven Grey Seers like sniff it, it basically just gives them like extra magical powers. So I mean, it's got to have some magical properties to it. Anyways, here Storm Vermin holding relatively well by Skaven standards in the front line, but alas, you can see the Skaven slaves not doing so well. And Durthu and the Crab appear to be locked in mortal combat. Now, around the edge of the battlefield, the Wild Hunters of Kurnus do engage with the big crab, so they're going to opt to charge here into the Rotting Prometheans, which certainly is not a bad play. Might be able to wear them down, and if you are able to kill them, you can push onto the mortars, but I guess there's some Skaven reinforcements nearby. Yeah, Storm Vermin collapsing into your back is going to force you to run here, so maybe they should have taken the fight out here in that open field situation. That would have been so much better. A little bit of lag subsiding. I know. It is a shame indeed. It is a shame indeed. And thank you, Lich109, for the donation. Everyone's complaining about the lag, but I say we're just getting tabletop experience. Need to wait till they're taking turns. Yeah, we'll remedy this here. After this game, we're gonna figure it out. We'll tell the players to. I'll do some interrogation and find out what their connections are and their PCs and everything. We might have to pull in a last-minute replacement for some of the teams if it is indeed one individual who's lagging. So we'll check in with them, guys. But regardless, we'll play this game out and slideshow style. Here comes a missile attack, not missile attack, but maybe a Scab Scraith or something. Not Scab Scraith, but that looks like a Scorch coming in from the Skaven caster. From Ikit Claw, of course, he does have that from the Lore of Ruin. Able to do some decent damage there. But still, we have the Kaiju fight here. You know, we have Durthu and the Banshees, and they're really taking out this Rotting Leviathan, which is very, very strong. Ikit Claw coming in as well, trying to goon out the Branch Wraith, which would be smart. If he could actually push the Branch Wraith out of the formation and really isolate it, that could be a pretty big play as well. But the Rotting Leviathan going down, and the fact that there's not much missile play left. I mean, yeah, there's a couple militia, but here come the Wild Riders once again. So Zimmerix's Cav going to be slamming into the back here of the Sartosa militia. Doing some hammering. Here we go. Hey, I'm doing really well, Grimsoka. We got something shipped to you, so you're going to be getting a package coming soon from Lady Turin, so stay tuned for that. Rotting Leviathan here, very beat up. Skaven Plague Priest also in quite a bit of a tough position. I think that the game is certainly going pretty well for the vampires, considering the vampires and the Wood Elves, considering that there's double Banshee alive, Blood Dragon Vampire Lords alive, Mortis Engine is still functional, Durthu's healthy, and the Branch Wraith is also still in really good shape. I just don't see how Sartosa and the Skaven are going to be able to win this, considering the bulk of their army is like some militia, and I mean Ikit Claw is not going to be able to fight these guys terribly well, and also we have some Storm Vermin. So if I had to say who's actually winning, to answer your question, I would say that Zimmerix, the Grail Peasants, are currently ahead, because Durthu and like the Goon Squad is in such good shape, and they're really beating down this Leviathan, which certainly spells doom. And the Wild Riders, the Wild Hunters of Kurnus, just riding about, causing problems everywhere. We have Scurvy Doggo harassing the back line, trying to get on that last mortar, which certainly has been doing well. Ikit Claw trying to get freebies where he can, but Storm Vermin are just not going to be able to do anything against this blob here. Brass Orb going down from Ikit, trying to clear out some of the chaff units. Trying their best. And another Spearfisher's Net is activated on the Claw of Nagash to try and lock it down, to allow the Leviathan to get a little bit more beat down on these guys. Here comes Durthu walking on over. Him and his Wood Elf buddies. Certainly doing a pretty good job. Leviathan is now crumbling, which means it probably has a fairly limited lifespan here. But yeah, man, so much lag here. Again, we'll finish the game, but we'll figure it out from here. And honestly, if it's really laggy and we can't figure out who it is, we could just call the winner of this game the winner of the round and advance on in hopes that it deals with our lag issue. Skaven have never been trashed here. Skaven have always been a faction that is very, very good and very powerful, like ever since their inception. Like even in the beginning before their DLC, Skaven were still really good. The Skrolk was powerful, their summons were powerful, their artillery was very good in the early days, like Plague Claw catapults and Warp Lightning cannons and Doom Wheels. Like all that stuff was really good. Skaven have always been a top tier faction. Alright, Gojira. I'll let you know. So down goes the Crabbo. Now we have the double Banshee, Blood Dragon Lord. I mean, the Mortis Engine's still here. And what do we have fighting on the ground here? Yeah, it looks like it's Aranessa. Like, Aranessa is going to get just stomped out by Durthu. Like, Durthu will come in with Banshee support, and Aranessa is going to get karate chopped so incredibly hard. So Ikit Claw coming over here. At least the Skaven have had some victories. They've been able to push back troops over here, and the Mortar's still online. But man, that Death Star is nasty. And I'm surprised the balance of power isn't reflecting that yet. It seems like it's pretty good. I mean, I guess the Mortis Engine is going down here. A really nice summon by Willow. He's able to drop a zombie summon right here and get some good pot shots downtown into the Claw of Nagash, which is now falling back, which is good. Araness is being karate chopped, just like we said. The Banshees are coming in, Durthu's coming in. She is being shanked from a million different angles. And there's also a mighty duelist, the Blood Dragon Lord, who could obviously solo Aranessa, coming in as well. This is a really nasty hero goon squad here. Needed some more missiles than kind of a wider build to try and pick it apart, I think. Warp Stone is like crystallized magic. Yeah, who knows? I don't know the lore that well. I've read a couple books, like I said, so I have topical understanding of the lore, but not as much as any of the great lore masters in our community here. So the Claw of Nagash is falling back, negative 23. And it might crumble down. If it can get over the lip of this hill, it should be able to stabilize there. Araness is down for the count, which, again, I'm really surprised the balance of power isn't worse for these guys. She's shattered. Now there's some grabs coming in. You have some Rotting Prometheans, but there's Eternal Guard, there's AP Banshees, AP Durthu. Like, what are they going to do there? Scurvy Dogs are able to slip up and around. It's really getting controlled by Zimric, so this whole game he's been doing a really good job with his Wild Riders harassing, just getting into the back. His Mortar team might actually finally get shut down. And now you can see the balance is starting to push a little bit past the middle here, but Ikiclaw still being alive is still something, and there is some pistol play coming in. The zombie pirate gunnery summons have been very good. They've been one of the few things that have been keeping this team afloat here. Down goes the zombie. Yeah, we'll get to the bottom of this though, guys, don't worry. Taunt activated on Durthu to lower his armor, making him a weaker target for some of the gunnery mobs, but obviously Zimrix knows this. He gets his Wild Hunters of Kurnus and charges in there. Despite the fact he may lose some Wild Riders, if he can buy time for Durthu and company, he should be okay. And now the crabs are crumbling down here. Rotting Prometheans just getting beaten down. There is so much like good quality AP here. And also Helm of Discord, I would imagine, is going to be activated soon. Lamentation of Despair going down on the Vampire Fleet Captain, able to really crump that character. And yeah. I mean, that's looking pretty grim bones for these guys. I don't know. So what we could do is we could load in. I mean, the thing is, it's not even a big battle, but some of you guys, and if you guys could articulate this with me, in your experience, what has been the biggest issue in lagging 2v2s? Is it connection issues or is it PC performance? Because this battle isn't very big, so I feel like it would be more connection issues. And okay, so we got a big lag spike there. Yeah, bad lag. We will have to figure it out after game. This battle is a pain for sure. Unfortunately, we can't skip it. I mean, we could. I could just leave, but we at least want to see. Yeah, 5 people are connecting. It could be that, but we had 0 lag in our last best of 3. So clearly it's 1 or 2 people who's causing the issue. Hopefully it's just one team and we can just move on and get the other ones in the grand final. I don't know who. I mean, I've had some of these guys in my events. I haven't had too much lag. I could load in with some of the players and, you know, try and test it out and see. Yeah, it's connection, yeah. Because the battle isn't big. Some people just might have really bad internet, yeah. That could be it. Looks like there's going to be some sort of a vortex going down here. But that's not going to do anything against, like, single engine. Yeah, it's a brass orb, so it'll probably friendly fire some Skaven, but that's pretty much the extent of it. We won't play another one. Flag, we will find out. I just let them know we won't play another one with this lag because, again, it's not fun for anybody. Not fun for you guys, not fun for them. Yeah, dedicated servers. I've actually talked about that before. So dedicated servers are pretty expensive, and like considering how small the multiplayer player base is for Total War, it's not really just like it's hard to justify from a business perspective for them. So yeah, Ikiclaw coming in, obviously going to take some damage from the Banshees. I just let them know that we won't play another one like this. We'll have to find out who it is. Poison Wing Globadiers are really good. Yeah, they're an incredible unit. So, yeah, the thing is, it's hard to tell who's causing the lag because when you lag, it lags the whole game. It's not like in, you know, some other games where if like somebody has really bad ping, for example, it's gonna, you know, that player will just suffer lag issues. In this case, it's kind of a hidden thing. Now, if one player dropped and suddenly it fixed our situation, then we would know what was cracking. So I can actually tell the players here, as this game does come to a close, to leave one at a time. Because like once it's a foregone conclusion and we know the game's over more or less, we can have the like one player step out, and then from there we should be able to figure it out hopefully. So Big Papa Durthu coming over. Going to easily be able to beat down Ikiclaw, even in his very tattered state. But the Banshees have been really, really strong here for Ice Power, and in company. Willow's caster here just getting assassinated by the double Banshee, and I mean, Skaven can't really do anything. They have a bunch of like just trash units that are going to get terror routed here. This character's crumbling now. Yeah. So Ice Power saying him and were playing 1v1 before this, and they were having no lag. Blake Colborn saw the stream notification briefly, was hoping for Mountain Blade, but Warhammer gods are pleased, and so am I. Mountain Blade's tomorrow. Don't worry, my friends, we'll have that stream going tomorrow. And for anyone watching this back after the fact, if you accidentally jumped into this point, we will be having timestamps for you guys. All right, so yeah, we got Ikit Claw still trying, but it's just a matter of time. So let's have... So once game is basically over, let's have Lycus leave first to C, then his partner. Because this game basically is over. I mean, there's no way Lycus and Willow can come back here from this battle. Okay. Yeah, the battle's basically over. So let's see. I'm trying to think the best way to test it. So what we'll do, guys, is we'll have them load into an FFA battle without me. Okay. Okay. So let's have you four load into FFA. Then we can have Lycus and Willow leave in order. Then if it isn't solved, we'll know it was Zim and Ice. Got it? Yeah, that game will count. That was 100% over. Oh, where'd he go? Did he just disconnect? Let me see what they're saying in Discord. Hold on. Oh, where did he go? All right, so let's see. So Lycus's teammate was Willow, so let me message Willow. So we can test. So yeah, we're gonna do some test load-ins here. So let's test. So I'll update the scorecard real quick. Bear with me, guys. A little bit of a technical thing, but it's just the nature of the beast here. So the Grail Peasants will go up 1-0. Obviously, that game was quite over, and both teams agree. So Lycus or Willow. So Lycus, step out first. Let's test. All right, no problem. So guys, we're going to test this out real quick. Ready up. So we're going to see if there's still lag as we load into this match. Misha can drop a Discord link for you guys. So Zimmerix, Ice, and Willow, if you guys could, ready up now. And then we need Ice Power to ready up as well. And what we'll do is we'll just test and see where it is. Yeah, so we have a couple servers. Okay. So then if this doesn't work, we'll just load in with a couple players and see the lag situation, because you can tell with the connection issues, you can tell almost instantly. So, and if it is, yeah, we'll get to the bottom of this, and then we'll be able to progress through the tournament with the other one. Thanks, guys, for sticking around. I know technical issues can plague 2v2. It's one of the main reasons I don't do it on the channel often, but it's still fun to get going. And you know what I could do for 2v2 tournaments, guys? And do you guys think this would be better is if I did 2v2 tournaments and I have the players actually send the replays of the games they play, and then I just cast the replays? That would probably be better, right? Hey, Dennis, we're in the second best of 3. We had a little bit of a lag technical issue, so we're just testing it right now. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so move units around. Okay, so they're going to move. Still a little bit laggy. Okay, that seems better. But there's still a little bit of choppiness. Still a little bit of choppiness, but this is certainly way better. Yeah, we'll do the replay. We'll do the replay idea. Streaming's just so much fun live. You know, it's certainly a different mood you kind of get. Okay, let's step out. It's still a little laggy, though. Yeah, Blake, it would be less time consuming, yeah. Okay, so now... Oh, man. I have to host it again. Oh, God. This is so obnoxious. So turns 1, 2, 3, it's fine. Okay, so you guys got to rejoin my lobby, so let me message them. All right, sorry about this, guys. And again, bear with me. We'll get this going. Where is that? Okay. Okay, so they're going to rejoin the lobby here. It seems like that kind of helped, but it's still, yeah, it's hard to say. So what we're going to do is we're going to have, because now we can join up again, and we can have Lycus stay in, and then his ally can step out, and we'll see if that, yeah, that kind of fixes the issue, but it seems like it's still there. All right, so they're on their way back. Very good. Oh, I can see the armies now, unfortunately, because I clicked. So now let's keep Lycus here and have Willow step out for test. Great. All right, so now we just need to get a couple opponents in here, and we'll be good to go. Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. So Zim and Ice. So we're going to see if Lycus's connections is better, and maybe it was someone on their team, or if it completely... That one was a lot better, but there was still like an intermittent spike every couple seconds. So we'll do like 1 or 2 more tests. Honestly, it's a tricky situation, but... Grimsoka, I like that. To knife fight IRL. Oh, man. What we could do also is I could just have them go play the 2v2s and then send me the replays. And I could, in the meantime, just play like some quick battles or something. All right, so Ice Power should be joining. Or is he staying out? Let's see. Yeah, it's crazy times we live in. Crazy times we live in, indeed. The battle for Itza, oh my god, that would be a terrible multiplayer map too. That was actually a really fun stream, the King of the Hill we did with the terrible maps. Okay, Willow's typing something to me. Yeah, it's a regional thing, but I mean, we had 2 players from Russia in the earlier game, and I think we had a US player and then a Polish player, so I'm pretty sure it was like... I'll send an invite to him. There's lag already. Well, not so bad. You can also tell about lag when you look at how responsive the text is here. Okay, start. We are testing Lycus at the moment. See, there's lag. There's big lag there. Yeah, big lag. We'll switch to any of these maps. It doesn't really matter. All right, so we're going to test this, guys, and we'll make a decision from here. Mr. Pig and non-King of the Hill tourney with bad maps as well. Yeah, I think that could be cool. Oh my god, look at this wretched map. The Bleak Coast Isle. There's like a huge choke point in the middle where just one player can just choke up. Somebody forgot their litanies to the machine spirit. I know, tell me about it. Tell me about it indeed. All right, so we load in here. Let's see how this goes. So we're going to see, basically, we're just testing players in the trios right now to see what the lag situation's like. It could be two people having lag, which is a problem. Yeah, no, lag has certainly been more of an issue since the quarantine stuff has been going down. All right. So if we are able to determine the lag is coming from one end or the other, then we probably just advance one team, the one that isn't lagging, and just go to the finals and hope we can get some good games. This seems quite a bit laggier, though. So let's see what happens here. They can just start fighting, basically. All right, so let's see how this goes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is definitely the lag, I think. You can see... This is pretty potato. I mean, his stuff's moving, but it's very choppy. No bots today. The bots have sensed lag. They don't want to watch the slideshows either. I don't blame them. Yeah, that's... It was less laggy when we had his ally in. But not by much. Yeah, you can see like that's like a full frame freeze for like a good 5 to 6 seconds, which we weren't necessarily getting before. So maybe they're both lagging a little bit, hard to say. All right. Let's jump out. All right, so the test is underway. So we could just load in with just those two. But like doing 4 tests, it seems like there was a pretty big difference there. They said they were playing before and had no issues in 2v2 testing and practice games they were doing. That's the only reason why, and I don't think these gentlemen were. They were happening as well last time, yeah, but a little bit slower. All right, so let's Willow. So Willow, if you're watching, go ahead and join up. So let's have Ice jump out for last test. So we'll have Ice Power jump out now. And we're going to do one more test. Just to, you know, kind of... The Nurgle bots are slowing me down. So now we need Willow to rejoin, if we can. And thanks for bearing with us, guys. Just kind of an intermission of sorts. Unintentional, of course. All right, let's start. So let's see how this goes here. You were also fine before, says Lycus. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Because why was it the first game was so smooth? I believe in medium funds are getting like 8.4. So let's see how this looks here. We had Ice Power jump out just now. No, you're here just in time for the tournament. Granted, 2v2 is the classic curse. I think what we'll do for future 2v2 tournaments, guys, is just get the replays. We'll have the players play in like a tournament format, like start at like 8 a.m. and just play, and then we'll get the replays and just cast them. Because this doing live 2v2s and live 4v4s, I've seen like, I remember seeing streams on like Air's channel and People's channel a while back, and they were just like lag fest for like 2 hours straight. So yeah, we're right now we're just kind of piddling with the players' connections and seeing. So Lycus, hopefully it works, man. I mean, we could have you guys play it out in a replay, and maybe without me there it'll be better. I don't know. And I could just do some quick battles or something in the meantime. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. The Dark Gods are always appeased, dude. I take care of them. And Lycus, you said you were doing some 2v2s before this. Were you playing like versus AI, or were you guys playing against like other players? I mean, let me check I'm pretty sure my connection's fine. Yeah, I see my bitrate's all good. I haven't had any drop frames or anything. So, yeah. Okay, Willow just dropped. That might answer our question here. Hard to say. Willow dropped. And now it's less laggy. Yeah, okay. Start. Zimrix has like 10 hell cannons. Oh my god. So they both started, and now there's like an issue. I think it's because of the drop. The game is still counting Willow, yeah. Okay. Let's leave game. Oh, it's completely laggy and frozen now. Okay, let's see how this goes. It's pretty choppy. So this is just 1v1 now. It's basically just Lycus and Zimrix because he dropped. Still a little bit of lag, unfortunately. We loaded in slower this time. It wasn't that bad, yeah. Well, there was only 2 people there, though, so... And Willow dropped. He had to disconnect, it looks like, so it could be his connection, perhaps. Okay. So here is what we will do. Lycus and Willow, you guys can play in another qualifier. As we will be doing replays, and we will try Zim and Ice versus other super team. because we did have a drop there. It's kind of like indicative of connection issues. So here's what we're going to do. So we are going to go to the finals for now, but Lycus and his glorious ally here. Let me pull all this up. Let me make sure this is good. All right. So Lycus and Willow are not going to be eliminated from the tournament. I'm going to let them play. It's not, I don't think it's from my end. We're going to let Lycus and Willow play in another qualifier. They did lose the first game, so, you know, we're going to advance Zimrix and Ice Power and see if they're able to play. So now we can get Tank and Crabling in here. And if that lags too, then we'll just Tank and Crabling. Finals. Get Ice in here. Yeah, so we're going to let them play in another qualifier, and we're going to just see if there's lag across this matchup. And so basically the future qualifiers we're just going to do as replays, and then they can send them to me, and we'll just cast it that way as a live stream. But for now, we're going to try and see if we can at least get a finals going here. It seems like there was more consistent lag across the other team, perhaps, but it's still hard to tell. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But again, the other team isn't eliminated, so they'll be able to play in a different qualifier. But again, we'll just do them offline. It'll be much easier that way. Yeah, so there's no punishment for them. It seemed like there was less lag on this team here, so Tank and Crabling, real deal. Okay, so we need to get Zimrix in here. Not Zimrix, but Ice Power, and then we'll find the map. Seems like there's still even lag in chat. Like, bad. We'll see. Yeah, you see I'm like typing here and it's like a massive delay. Testing. I know, it's really a shame because it's so lag. All right, let's see. It's okay now. It was while loading in. Yeah, it's normal now. All right. So Tank and Crabling are ready. It seems like there's no lag in chat at the moment. And we'll play it by ear. So yeah, again, you guys, there's not going to be any punishment, obviously, for the lag there. What we'll do, again, is you guys can sign up for another qualifier, and you can play the battles off stream, and perhaps there will be less lag for you guys when there's less people connected, including the caster. So yeah, sorry about that. Seems like there's less lag now. Medium funds. All right, there we go. So send blind pics. Yeah, there's no lag at all in chat. It's like very quick. So I think that was the right call. All right, guys, looks like we may be back in business. We'll find out here in a second. All right, so man, all right, so the Russians staying true to course. So we have Bretonia and the Vampirates for the Grail Peasants, and then for Super Team we have Greenskins and Norska again. So let's go ahead and change this up. Super Team 1. At least you guys will get 2 best of 3s today, potentially. Greenskins versus Lizardmen. Which faction has the advantage? Lizardmen. That's heavily favored for Lizards, in my opinion. And thank you guys again for the donations coming in. I appreciate that. From Blake Colborn, Lich109, as well as Cody Bear. Thank you guys so much. I know it's been a bit of a haggard stream, but we're trying here. It's a weird format. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it was ambitious to live stream it, but you know, because all it takes is one connection to have issues, and then the whole stream just gets kaput. So yeah, we have Bretonia and Coast versus Greenskins and Norska. So we saw Greenskins Norska earlier, and obviously it was pretty effective. That was the first game that they won. And I'll be back in just a second, guys. I'm going to grab some water. All right, guys, I returned. Oh, Garland, please, dude. Please. Don't you worry, brother. And it seems like we've gotten back on track here. Unfortunately, a little bit of a delay there, but we'll get a couple of best of three, so at least the picture will be somewhat... and, you know, seeing PowerPoint every now and then is fun, right? So takes us back to the good old days, the early days of technology, doing PowerPoint presentations in high school. Oh my God, I remember that. That was so... Oh God. It's a funny thing. Lady Turin and I were discussing this. Do any of you guys still have nightmares about like certain subjects in high school? Like me, for example, I have nightmares about my math class. Like I literally, like sometimes in the night will like be thinking about it and be like, oh man, like, you know, math, like I'll have the same feeling I felt when I was like going to math class. It's pretty trippy for sure. All right, one sec, guys. All right. So just setting something up real quick. Players are picking their factions. We saw the Russian combo earlier with the Norska Greenskin Rush, and it certainly did pretty well. And now... There were dwarves. We saw dwarves earlier. They're very good in 2v2 because dwarves are a faction that, of course, has its weaknesses, but they can be compensated by with other factions. And that's what's... I mean, the 2v2 format is actually really cool. That's the problem. If there was, like, less lag, like, from a live kind of perspective, man, it would be really, really neat. But we'll do it as, obviously, replays in the future. So players picking their armies. We're going to get to see Bretonia here with Zimmerichs and Ice Power. There's zero lag in chat, so I think we're set now, guys. I have the same with your literature classes. Yeah, I was terrible. I mean, I wasn't terrible at math. I wasn't great though. It was like my worst subject probably. Yeah. Because the school I went to as a young lad, it just didn't put a focus on math. So I got like a little bit behind on that, unfortunately, when it comes to like being as good as the other kids. All right, one sec, guys. Just setting up some settings here in the back. Getting a video published for the day. Putting out the Bannerlord campaign to prepare for the stream tomorrow. You slept through pre-cal and got 100. Yeah, you know, some people just, they got the gift, you know. They got the gift. All right, very good. There you have it. All right, so it looks like both players are ready. Well, both teams just about. Crabling and Tank are ready. Zimmerichs and Ice Power are half ready. Yes, do drop a thumbs up. It does help. I know, I feel like it doesn't deserve it because the stream was so jankety today, but it's okay. It's the nature of the beast. It's the nature of gaming, right? I remember like watching old esports events back in like 2008 and 9 and 10 when they were all getting going and seeing some horrible lag fest, so I guess there's a precedent for it. Bannerlord doesn't seem to lag too bad in multiplayer, which is nice. There are studies that show math anxiety actual causes fight or flight response. Numbers are unnatural and not to be trusted. Yeah, that's pretty funny. All right, guys, the grand finals of today's stream. We had a very unorthodox second best of 3, but now we have Super Team against the Grail Peasants. The Grail Peasants, actually true to their name, are going to be bringing some peasants, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, we'll see how this bad boy goes. Hey, thank you guys for the support. Lich109 says, I might have had nightmare about math if I had been taught it in the same way they're teaching math today. Yeah, math definitely is for me was anxiety inducing. English and literature and writing was always really easy for me, but math was rough. Yep, there's no lag. There's no lag whatsoever. They're like moving around very fluid. Maybe a tiny bit. No, doesn't look like it. All right, guys. So for the Russian horde, in the front line, it's going to be Greenskins, Skulkers. So yeah, the Greenskins actually taking the helm on the front line engagement. Savage Orcs and Nasty Skulkers and ROR Goblins into the sunset. We have Wurzag and we have Wulfric. So certainly some powerhouse lords. We have some Famir as well. Famir in the back. Light Goblin mobility and a lot of ranged pressure coming in from Orc Airboys as well as Marauder Hunters with Javelins. Yeah, crazy stuff. And now for the Glorious Grail Peasants. We have Peasant Mobs. So Peasant Mobs in the front, Spears in the secondary. In the back for leadership, we have, Fey Enchantress, Green Knight, Aranessa, and also we do have a Vampire Fleet Captain. Very cool combo here. We have a Carronade in the back with Grail Knights, Knights of the Lionhearted. Badass indeed. The Green Knight is here to party, boys. And he's certainly going to be tricky. Effigy plus missile attacks can hurt him. Granted, Wurzag does not have any missiles. He does have Foot of Gork and Brainbuster and Fist of Gork. There is Fireball, though, in the Balefiend. So Fireball against Green Knight, of course, can be pretty good. Aristodemus, we are in the finals. We have this super team facing off against the Grail Peasants. The Grail Peasants are being led by Zimmerix and his noble partner here. If you go ahead and take a look, Ice Power Total War, who's been on a lot of our King of the Hills. Now, we'll see if this lags a little bit. Hopefully not. It certainly seems to be far less than we had in the last round, so I think we made the right call. Timo, of course I know Milk and Cookies. Yeah, I've done videos with him in the past, yeah. He's a good guy. All right. The battle is underway. Milk and Cookies does a lot of like modded stuff. He does like SFO and Grimhammer and all that kind of stuff. More. I usually do more vanilla. Yes. The Bretonia is here. And there are some ghostly, spooky units. I'm surprised, I wonder, like, how many Sirens he could have brought. How crazy could he have gotten there? There's a tiny bit of lag, but it doesn't seem too bad. Considering. Like, when I mouse over units, it almost immediately, like tethers to them. Granted, a little bit here as we do progress. Yeah, Savage Orcs. Let's see how this goes. If there's like a little bit of choppiness, it's still watchable, but if it's like a slideshow, then obviously that's a problem. The Green Knight isn't bad against Greenskins for sure. He can do some work. Yeah. So they're advancing. I mean, honestly, this isn't too bad. You can see they're moving relatively fluidly. There's a little bit of chopping every couple seconds, but again, we'll see what it's like when the battle starts. It's just how it is. So here comes the Greenskin Wa. Again, Wurzag, one of the more powerful 2v2 lords. Fireball, probably going straight for the Green Knight. If Green Knight could like hide behind the crabs or something, where's that fireball going? Oh, that was not a good fireball. A little bit of choppiness here. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But it's still a little bit better than last game. But even still, like there was dropping. Maybe like there was folks from both teams last time. But here comes the frontline engagement. The dreaded Savage Orc Wa charging in. We have Miststalkers as well. Going to be pressuring in. Not the worst, though. Yeah, because I'm able to actually type this time. It's not like frozen. So, a nice Sea Fang going down right there, tearing into those Men-at-Arms. Man, oh my god, that was brutal! That Sea Fang killed, like, that entire unit of Men-at-Arms there and takes out the other one, just shreks them horribly. Now, the Wa is active, and the Greenskins are pushing into the front line. The Archers and Hunters are certainly going to be focusing down on Lamprey's Revenge, I would imagine. A lot of focus fire. He could drop, like, an effigy there, but I think Wurzag has to save all of his effigies for the Green Knight. Now the Green Knight, the Fey Enchantress, and the Goon Squad over here. I know, it's still a little bit choppy, unfortunately, but oh, look at this, a nice catch here. Wulfric actually gets pinned down by the Spearfisher's net and taunt. He's very squishy. Green Knight and a lot of the heroes of Bretonia are certainly getting in there and doing some heavy gooning here on Wulfric. And now we have the big Grail Knights coming in as well. Wulfric's overextension here certainly could be something that could cost him the game, but the Grail Knights slam into the back of Wulfric, doing some big old damage. So Wulfric's in a lot of trouble here. He's going to want to pull back. Grail Knights, just all these heroic units. Very, very scary stuff indeed. So now, a big Foot of Gork going down, and a wrecked Foot of Gork drops right on top of the Grail Knights right there. Brutal stuff hitting those elite units. Man, Foot of Gorks have been on point today. Now for the front line, as expected. A Brainbuster on top of the Sirens. Man, Tank so on point with his magic here. Or that's actually Crabling. Crabling's so on point with his magic this round. I think one of the other ones played the Greenskins last time. Nonetheless, though, the Grail Peasants do have some scurvy dogs coming into the back line, pressuring in. However, Crabbling and Tank do have some sweepers back here. The Squigs are going to be able to kind of clean them up and probably chase them off. Chalice of Potions dropping in the front line, able to do some work, but the Banshees are crumped. Wolfric actually got wrecked pretty hard, but that's the biggest victory the Bretonnians on the coast have had so far, that's for sure. Granted, if they can kill the Caster as well as the Famir here, that's going to be some really, really good value for sure. Looks like there's a zombie summon going down there as well. And yeah, the Greenskin Taka line continues to advance on. Wolfric getting gooned out, though. That's really big. Granted, the Seafang was very nice, but Grail Guardians, Grail Knights now going to be going into the back line. Could potentially hammer into these archers. Though there are layers and layers of archers and some goblins and chaff units to kind of charp at them, but we'll see how that goes. So the Famir Balefiend of Fire trying to escape the situation. Grail Knights hammering into the back line, going to be charging into these orcs here. And those guys certainly get put down pretty damn hard. And you can see that's a big old juicy charge. But they're very squishy. I mean, if these archers and other units do switch and start shooting at the Grail Knights here, they'll go down probably rather quickly. And yeah, really, really good play here by the Vampire Coast and Ice Power. Getting the Scurvy Dogs to chase down Wolfric is very clutch, because if he comes back with the Hunter of Champions and or a Seafang, that could be a game-changing play. And honestly, Green Knight could be a carry here. Famir do magic damage, though, which is really good. You can see here the Green Knight certainly taking a little bit of magic damage from these Famir, but again, we'll see how it goes. Looks like there was a Burning Head attempt coming in from the Firecaster, but a very nicely dodged here by Ice Power. He's able to get away from that. And Tank's Caster is a little bit surrounded. Granted, it has Goblin support, so the Goblins, I mean, that's not much support, but it's better than nothing. The Goblins should be able to fight back here and potentially liberate the situation. Now, over here, the Green Knight's pushing back, and it seems like Ice Power and Zimmerix, who were in a little bit of a tough situation initially, I would say, have been able to push back really well. Wolfric going down, the Green Knight, mass terror outs just everywhere. And yeah, as long as he can avoid the Miststalkers and some of the Famir and really goon out things like Wurzag, I don't know if the Greenskins are going to be able to do this. It's going to be tough. And here we also have the Balefiend going down, the Spearfisher's Net once again from Aranessa, and also some Elite Grail Knights here with their anti-large. Should be able to chop this up pretty good. So it looks like the Bretonnians have been able to do it despite getting Foot of Gorks. I think the biggest misplay, though, was losing Wolfric early. That's a huge power piece, especially in a medium funds game like this. Losing Wolfric, who costs like, what, 2k plus? Like, plus numbers? Yeah, plus more, is going to be quite punishing. Wurzag is able to use his club over here to finish off those Sirens. And now we have the Fey Enchantress pulling back, looking to want to get her Mortis Engine effect there on the Savage Orcs. And it's a pretty close game. Scurvy Dogs charging into the Archer line. That's going to be incredible. They're going to shut down probably like 2 or 3 Archer units here. And yeah, for Crabbling and Tank, they just kind of have to secure this missile line and hope for the best. But yeah, with Green Knight just going balls deep everywhere. And here, nice play. You actually have the Knights of the Lionhearted going after these Famir. And they're not great weapon Famir, so they won't necessarily just annihilate these Bretonnian Knights. But yeah, not a bad situation for Bretonnia, because it's keeping the magic damage off the Green Knight. And if the Green Knight goes over here, there's going to be mass terror routes. You can see the Orc Airboys and all these other units will be scurrying for the hills. And it could be a very, very tough situation. So yeah, the Vampire Coast still also has Aranessa healthy and the Vampire Fleet Captain. We have the Green Knight. Mortis Engine effect is draining them down. And you can see a mass exodus going on. The Greenskins are just running for the hills, as is expected. And Famir here are being dragged into spears, and also the Knights of the Lionhearted are able to kite back, getting another good charge, perhaps liberating the cannon with these Grail Knights who shall come in and help out from the other side. So we'll see if they're able to lift the siege. And here comes the Grail Knights. Lance's couch, baby. Charge it in. And yeah, a little bit of lag, but honestly, it's really not too bad. I've seen much worse. Like last game, for example. And the Famir Warriors here are very low, and they are broken off. Brainbuster going down. Nice play there from the Greenskins, hitting all those cav units. But it looks like the Grail Knights and the Knights of the Lionhearted, in conjunction with the Spearmen at Arms, should be able to save this backline situation, although the Carronade only has 1 cannon left, so is it really worth saving? Who knows? Now here we have the Green Knight and the Fey Enchantress, and it looks like Wurzag has rallied the boys. And has he given Fist of Gork? Oh, Effigy of the Git going down on Green Knight. Earthblood as well, though. Should counteract any damage he does take here. And Wurzag looks like he wants to go in there. He's thirsting for that bacon, but it's not going to go well for him. And it looks like a Chalice of Potions coming from the skies, going to be ripping from the heavens, I would imagine. Just looking at this lovely sky panoramic there for a moment. But it should get in there, so yeah. Here it comes, the Chalice of Potions. It's a very long cast. Chalice of Potions usually takes a long time to actually get where it wants to go, so it's one of the easier skill shots to actually dodge in the game, but nonetheless, it is what it is. So Zimmerix, as well as Ice Power, pulling ahead in this game as the Noble Knights of Bretonnia and the Haggard Spears drag down the Famir. The Green Knight, I think, is going to be the carry, though. Like, what can deal with Green Knight? Like, 'cause, yeah, if he swarms Green Knight, there's Fey Enchantress, who has that Mortis Engine effect. And the Greenskins are just going to be constantly getting terror routed here, which is going to be really brutal for sure. So again, we'll see how this goes. But it looks like the Green Knight of Bretonnia is going to be able to carry this one into the sunset. Yeah, I really thought the Greenskins had the good initial jump. Like, they were getting good foot of Gorks and Brainbustas, but what ended up happening is Wulfric overextending really probably cost them the game. I mean, if Wulfric was still alive now, it would be a whole different game. But Green Knight and Fey Enchantress are in good shape. They still have a lot of spears. The Mortis Engine will just wreck these guys. And yeah, there's a bunch of Haggard Greenskin archers, but I mean, I don't know. Wurzog doesn't have any Gaze and Mork, so he can't really nuke the Green Knight. Green Knight is at a Tealing Cap, though, and if Green Knight did go down, maybe. We also still have to deal with Aranessa as well as the Vampire Fleet Captain. Estos Moldova, thank you so much for the $5. Yes, the stop motion Warhammer, I know. I'm learning a very important lesson about 2v2 tournaments today that I should not forget for the next couple months. At least, perhaps a year from now, I'll try this again and just get pissed again, and that'll be that. So here, we have Wurzag staring down his mighty foes, but I think it's too little too late, as I think Zimmeriks and the Grail Peasants have claimed victory here this day. And they pushed through. Yeah, the first best of 3 on today's stream had 0 lag, and that was with Super Team. And then we had a miserable, unplayable lag in the second one. And now it's a little bit less lag than that. So I think there was probably one person on both teams that was lagging in the last one, perhaps. But this one at least was like watchable. And that's going to be game. So the Green Knight really carried with Fey Enchantress. And Wulfric being gooned out early on obviously was, was really brutal. So that's going to be game 1. Let's go ahead and update the scorecard here. It's going to be 1 for the Grail Peasants in this best of 3. And again, thank you so much for the donation, Moldova and Lich109. Lich109 donates, says, if it cheers you up, just imagine the armies are fully aware and conscious of whenever they freeze, they have to live with. Thank you, dude. Thank you so much. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the... just since it's really laggy, I'm going to put them on like the grindiest of grindy maps. Yeah, it was playable at least. The last one was let's just go to the Spirit Essence of Chaos, guys. Or just so it's not like a big map where it's lagging. All right, yeah, it was certainly better than before. So this is the punishment of the Chaos Gods. They laughed. I think is it the Spirit Essence of Chaos or is it Spirit Essence of Chaos? I can't remember. I think it's the. So we'll find out. The World Cup is we're focusing more on other tournaments right now. Like instead of World Cup, I kind of started doing Faction War. And there will be another Faction War in the next 2 weeks. So what, do I want to put him on Spirit Essence of Chaos? Is it the Essence of Chaos? I could have sworn it is, yes. All right. This is one way to speed along laggy games. Just make them start right in front of each other. It's actually dinner time in Europe. Yeah. But it's the same goes for everywhere. I mean, and people here in the U.S. are just watching Netflix all day if they're not working, and yeah. Tomorrow's Bannerlord stream is campaign, and then we'll be doing a captain stream throughout the week. Yeah. I don't know. We'll try a siege stream eventually. No mercy. Yes. It's the solution to lag. All right. So the players know the map. They're going to send their blind picks here. Zimmeriks. Okay. Nice. I like that army. I like that combo. That's pretty sweet. Make sure they go full Vanguard and Essence of Chaos. We need to grind ASAP. At least guys were having some fun with it. The upside of it all. Man, 2v2, yeah. Don't worry, guys. For future 2v2 leagues, we'll make sure to have them play on replay. So for anyone watching this back, we will do replays in the future. What's the name of the map with desert and Hekar and statues? Oh, there's a bunch of those, Jan. Stop motion skeletons versus Sigvald for your Clash of the Titans remake. Jason, I love that, dude. All right, that's really funny, actually. All right. Perfect. Everything looks good here. I actually have to work. Luckily, I have the weekend off. Yeah. Oh man, you're working as a paramedic. Yeah, Timo, that's gonna be busy, brother. Depends on where you are, of course, but. So Essence of Chaos is like one of the smallest maps in the game. So if it does go to game 3, we'll find another small map and just go to battle. Oh man, this is actually, I'm excited for this. So tanking, crabbling. Okay, so they sent me theirs. And then the blind pick for the other guys is going to be Chaos. So it's Chaos and Dark Elves, so the living versus the dead. Tomb Kings and Vampire Counts, so it seems like Crabbling and Tank have like a dedicated fallback. So Tomb Kings, Vampire Counts versus Chaos and Dark Elves. Go, go. Yeah, you know, Eugene, I agree. It's really just a technical issue for live streams. And it's a shame because live streams are much more engaging and fun than replays. Because in replays, it's kind of like, I think the audience can kind of sense it a little bit, you know? And I feel that way too. Whereas if I'm watching like a live battle and I know they're playing and you really get into the mojo of it, that's really rich. But yeah, unfortunately for 2v2s and 4v4s, I think we're going to have to do replays. But we'll see. We'll see, my friends. Captain Timo. Oh my god, League of Legends. I used to play League back in the day. Way, way back in the day. More or less when it first came out. I remember just seeing like those haggard models fighting. So it's going to be Dark Elves and Chaos versus the Undead. So I mean, Chaos, I wonder what they're going to bring. Like, how are they going to play the front line? Is he going to go with like Chosen and then like a bunch of Shades and Dark Shards? That would actually be pretty cool to see like a slow push army like that. Like a ton of Dark Elf missiles with like just heavy Chaos infantry. Granted, on medium funds, you can only do so much, but, you know, he could bring a couple Chosen. Like Kolek and... Archeon would actually be really good here. Yeah, I would imagine, Timo. Well, thanks, man, for all that you do, brother. Yeah, so... Archeon could be really good. Like, a big burning head would roast Tomb Guard and all the undead troops. Well, all the Vampire Count troops. I think a Malekith could be really good for punishing blobs, because Malekith can come in with Soul Stealer and just karate chop, so... I think Malekith and Archeon would be the dream team here. And then from there, you just get, I don't know, yeah, front line. How do you play the front line here? I think Dark Elves definitely want some like Shades or Dark Shard type play to punish constructs. Granted, they could just go Monster Mash and bring like Hydras. Oh no, Ice Power is going to go Marathi. They're going to do the dreaded Dark Elf Death Star, I bet. Yeah, on this map, that makes more sense. That makes way more sense. Henry from Australia? Morning, man. Hope you're doing well. All right. I think we're going to see the dreaded Marathi Death Star. Now, how could Chaos contribute to that, though? Like, what? So, Archeon gives AoE immunity to psychology. So, Archeon could be there with the Crown of Domination. They could blob up, foot Archeon, and then he gives immune to psych to, like, everyone nearby, plus Marathi's debuff, so they won't be terror-routed by the constructs. That could be a pretty nasty blob. Granted, I think that Crabbling and Tank might just go with, like, they might pull a quick one and go Shop to Grapo. That would actually be really interesting. I'd be really interested to see. What do you guys think is going to happen? What predictions do you have? Currently, the Grail Peasants are up 1-0 here in this best of 3. So we'll see if the Grail Peasants can clean this game out. I certainly have no idea what's going to happen. Essence of Chaos is the true punishment. Azel, thank you for the 25. Man, that's a very generous donation. Thank you, man. He says, what if there was a Haggard 2v2 tournament on terrible maps? Thanks for entertaining us in quarantine. You're welcome, man. And again, sorry about today's connection issues. But, you know, for future 2v2 streams, which I'll be doing once a week, up until all the teams have played, I will be doing all replays. So you guys won't have to worry about this happening again. You know, I could put them on some bad maps, because on 2v2, it doesn't matter as much. Yeah. Yeah, the players can hear my predictions, but, like, this is just my opinion. Like, who the hell knows what's going to happen? Like, it's even if I'm like, oh yeah, he's going to do this, like Ice Power could be doing something totally different. And if they listen to my prediction, they could lose the game because of that. They need to go with synergy and work together. That's like the most important thing. So I don't think that's a big deal. 2v2 ambushes. Oh my God. And thank you again for the donation. That's very generous, bud. Winds of Death to counter a Death Star. You know, Winds of Death could actually be pretty good here. Tomb Kings could also go for a Casket. And then like a Bone Giant. The Bone Giant could like really shaft into that blobbed up character blob. And then the Casket could like kill the Chosen and stuff. There's like, even though it is a small map, you can really mind game people. Yeah. You could get a fat Boner Giant. The big old shaft. Yeah, I think Ice Power, I would guess he's going to go for the blob. He's going to go for the Marathi, like, debuff blob. I'm, like, really surprised we haven't seen it yet in any of the games we've had today. All right. We'll see how it goes. Players making their final tweaks. I'll tell them to start when ready. It's obviously all on the line here. The grand finale will be really fun too, for sure. Yeah, like honestly, if I were tank and Crabling, how would I play this? I would probably bring a Mortis engine and then like a bunch of zombies and skeletons, and because like a Mortis engine can single-handedly deal with elite infantry blobs with zombie support. So you bring the Mortis engine, and then from there, I would probably go for like a bunker busting build, like using like a Bone Giant, a Casket, maybe some like Sepulchral Stalkers to like ambush some of the bigger targets. I think that could be really strong. Because I really feel like Chaos is going to want to like blob with Ice Power's build here. But granted, we could see like Chaos Warriors and, you know, which again are pretty cost effective. And but Marauders will break really quickly though. That's the thing. There can't be too much kiting on this map is also another variable that we have to take into account. So the kite certainly not going to be too active here. Go Turkey Lord. Yeah, Turkey Lord could be good. You know, if that's actually a really good point that we didn't address. Really good prediction there, bud. I think that Zimrix might go for, based on what you've told me, I think he might go for the Warp Chicken, because Final Transmutation is so good at punishing undead blobs, and even if they don't do that, it's still a useful spell, you know, for taking out heroes and characters and things like that. So, yeah, we'll see. This could be interesting. Good luck, have fun being dropped by both teams, and now we load in on the Essence of Chaos, the ultimate punishment, the Chaos Gods scorn towards the lag being shown here. Yeah, Shade Vanguard could be pretty crazy too. I mean, there's all kinds of weird shit you could do here. All kinds of weird stuff. The Essence of Chaos rises. Here we go. It is time, my friends. Thank you for joining and sticking through despite the trials and tribulations of the stream. We go strong together. I also, you know, part of me was thinking like of maybe doing a captain stream after this, since it's still so early and this could potentially be the end. I'm like, oh, maybe we'll just do another stream. Start at like, you know, 1:30 or something and just play a couple hours of captain mode. Hard to say. Hard to say, guys. We'll see. I have some editing I have to do also, so. I feel like sometimes on YouTube, if I post 2 videos a day, I notice that, because basically when I look at YouTube analytics, I can see where the traffic is coming from. And I've noticed that when I post 2 videos a day, sometimes the second video, not including streams, doesn't seem to get as much traction. Like YouTube doesn't share your second one if you're like spamming videos, even if they're good quality. Kind of a weird thing. All right, guys, and now let's go ahead and take a look at the build of Chaos. Marauders into the front line, so no, not going for troop quality. Chaos Marauders here, Sisters of Singing Doom, Dread Spears. So Malekith, prediction was correct there. Kolek, a Shaggy, and a Firecaster. So very much going for like a, let's go fisticuffs, but I don't know how that's going to work against, you know, I feel like the Undead have the advantage in the fisticuffs fight. Granted, Malekith is an absolute raid boss. There is a Firecaster, there's some Witch Elves, but I feel like the front line for the living is going to get buckled really quick. There are some Chaos Warriors mixed in there. Now for the forces here of Crabling and Tank, taking up a defensive position, which is hilarious. 2 Shopti Great Bows. A big old Sphinx here. It looks like on foot. It's going to be Ark in the Black, cackling all the way to the bank. We have Crypt Horrors. We have a Blood Dragon Lord. We have a Mortis Engine, Corpse Guard, and 2 White Kings. This is going to be a tough cookie to crack for sure. Granted, Malekith, Soul Stealer, like in the right plays, and like if he's able to goon out Ark in the Black with good timing, like that could change everything. Up in the sky, we might have a duel. Blood Dragon Vampire Lord versus Malekith. Malekith with magic may have a chance, but the Blood Dragon is a much better duelist for sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's very strange. Like YouTube's algorithm is just so all over the place. You try and predict it, but I've often found that when I just don't plan things, they do better. Like when I put a lot of effort into stuff, it just does badly, and then like when I don't, it's just like there's just some random quick battle that has like 150,000 views. I'm like, what the hell is this? Why is this popular? It's not even a good one. Yeah. weird times we live in. So the battle should be underway here in a second. The Essence of Chaos, a very ridiculous formation to say the least. The Great Bows have a lot of good targets. Kolek, Shaggoth. The monster fight actually does probably favor the Chaos Goon squad here, considering they have Malekith, the Shaggy, plus Kolek versus the big boy here and the Blood Dragon. But again, the Great Bows can be the great equalizer. And on top of that, yeah, the Mortis Engine's going to be hard to kill. Looks like there are some mobile units back here as well. Well, they're actually all hidden. Oh, Dark Riders in the trees? What are they going to do? Oh, Dark Riders will not do much in this battle, that's for sure. Why did they bring Dark Riders? That's the one aspect of their build I'm not really sold on here. What's up, Arrow? How you doing, man? Welcome to the Lag Fest. And here, guys, the Great Bows continue shooting. Opening up into the Firecaster, which is really smart, knowing that that bad boy, of course, has big, fat burning heads, which can clean up shop. But it looks like some juking going on. Arrow, we're also on your favorite map, just in case you didn't notice. The Great Bows are forced back, so at the very least, the Dark Riders were able to harry the Great Bows and force them back. Really was not expecting this from Tank and Crabling, like a defensive Great Bow build. Yeah, this is good though. I mean, at least the Dark Riders are, forcing the Great Bows to respect them names. Respect that name. How does that meme go? Put some respect on that name, or put some respect on my name or something? Yeah, I can't remember. It's an old one. It still checks out. The Dark Riders are able to tie down the Ushoptu Great Bows. Vampire Summon going down to target those Dark Riders, and obviously those Dark Riders will be sacrificed, but if they can minimize the firepower coming in and allow the Chaos Forces to advance without taking too much of a beating, that's certainly not bad by any stretch of the imagination. So here it comes. Oh, a little bit of lag there. Looks like some of the familiar lag from earlier. Hopefully that subsides and we can get our stop motion battle back in business here. There's going to be a Brainbuster or some sort of a Vortex spell being dropped here. It's probably the Lord of the Storm from Kolek. If we look up, yep, Lord of the Storm coming in. And it zaps the Mortis Engine a little bit. Granted, that actually did some okay damage, believe it or not. Now we have the monster fight. So it looks like Malekith is down here, but he's surrounded by Crypt Horrors. But, maybe this could be good for them because of a Soul Stealer follow-up. Helm of Discord activated, which is going to be lowering the stats of Kolek and the Shaggoth. So, yeah, I don't know. This is actually a little bit bad for the Grail Peasants here. I think Malekith needs to drop his Soul Stealer and just kind of beeline out of here. Gaze of Malice going down as well. It's going to be good against those Spears. And now the Chaos Warriors and other troops have engaged, but I feel like there's not too many aspects of this game that are going to go well for the Grail Peasants. Obviously, Malekith here is just getting wrecked by Spirit Leech and by the Blood Dragon Lord, and also by Ark in the Black. And the Shaggies, are obstructed. They're not really able to get where they want to go, and Soul Stealer must be coming in here. A nice Burning Head. That's going to get some huge value, although some of it does friendly fire into some of the Corsairs, but it still gets some good value at the end of the day. And Soul Stealer, have we seen it yet? I feel like we haven't. It looks like there's going to be the Soul Stealer cast here, but he breaks. And does it go off? Yeah, Malekith getting Goon. This is very much reminiscent of the first game. Put some respect on my name. That's what it was. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that, guys. I had totally forgotten. And yeah, so Malekith is just gooned. It's pretty much what happened to Tank in the first game where he lost Wulfric instantly. It seems like the Dark Elf and Chaos build was just so hard countered by this build. It's like they had nothing to kill the Mortis Engine except for the monsters. And then if they come in and fight, they get Helm of Discorded, they get the Great Bows to the face. If Dark Elves had some missiles, for example, and could have just rained fire into the Mortis Engine and or the Ushoptu Great Bow on this map, that could have been really punishing for sure, like some Repeater Crossbow Cap. And now you can see Tank's going to be gooning the Chaos Sorcerer, and that's going to be a very quick game. Very, very quick game. Malekith got Shrek'd really hard. Total War stop motion hammer. And now you can see that the Blood Dragon Lord is going to kill the Fire Sorcerer, and now it's just a matter of time before army losses. Like, the Shaggoths are just going to stand and be circle beaten, just surrounded and smashed. Which is not going to be fun for them. So the Dragon Ogre Shaggy here, trying his little heart out, but... well, or his big pumping heart. I don't know, his chaos-ridden heart, whatever you want it to be. Yeah, the Shaggoths weren't able to get the good engagements, and during the big Alpha Strike, the Shaggoths were, yeah, they're like, well, GG. During the big Alpha Strike, the Shaggoths were heavily debuffed by the Helm of Discord as well. There you have it. We could have the players try and play the last game in here in the series offline and just send me the replay. That could be something we could do. Yeah, maybe that'll help. Let's do that. We have time to kill, so we'll have the players play the last game as a replay, since this is clearly going to be a very quick win for Tank and Crabling. And yeah, they can just send me the replay. And I'll find something to do in the meantime. Yeah, it was pretty brutal for sure. The build was very well thought out for Tank and Crabling. It had all the answers for, but Malekith getting gooned obviously didn't help. The monster engagements also were not the best angles for sure. Kolik's getting some work in there now, but the big old Sphinx with the fire damage, and, well, fire damage doesn't matter against Kolik, but it did against the, some other targets, I suppose. But yeah, I guess against nothing here, it does really matter. Harvester's coming in from Ice Power, committing to the blob fight, and they do have the Witch Elves fighting, but yeah, there's still a healthy Mortis engine, I think, alive. 2 Great Bows can fall back up on top of this hill and just shoot downtown and pretty much goon whatever they like. And, yeah, that's that. I'm trying all 3 of his hearts out. Yeah, it's a little bit laggy now, unfortunately. It did come back, so... And again, guys, for future 2v2 tournaments, we will make sure to do them as replays instead of this, because we've learned our lesson today. That's going to be a quick game, too, for tank and crabbling, though. My goodness, the Mortis engine just killing the infantry, and yeah, the monster's just obviously able to get the better engagements on Malekith. And the Helm of Discord mitigating the Alpha Strike from Chaos was really good. And that's that. Game 2. All right, so let me tell the guys. GG. Let's try game 3 without me, then send me replay. See if that helps. All right, so for the map, let's go ahead and pick the map here. So Tomb of Shifting Sands, Sand Blind Picks. I'll leave lobby. So I'll leave lobby and I'll just do like a quick battle or something in the meantime. And then we'll come back and just do that real quick. Replays do lose some of the mood. Yeah, you know, Hadrius, let's do that, dude. Let's do that. That sounds like fun. So I just need to get their blind picks and give them to them real quick, and then we'll... So Hadrius and Arrow, if you guys could set up a lobby, that'd be great. My connection hasn't been having any drop frames today, and my bitrate's been steady, so I don't think I'm... But again, having one less person to connect to is really big. There we go. Okay, so we have... All right, gotta play new ones. Okay, so we have the picks from Tank and Crabbling. So just getting the final picks here. Yeah, Lich, I put up a campaign video today for Bannerlord, yeah. The last of the regular episodes I'll do before I start streaming my con campaign. I do plan on streaming that, so it's kind of the game plan. Okay, let's see. They're working it out. So I have the picks from Tank. Tank's team, Tank and Crabbling. Definitely very strong combo. Do it, Arrow. Hadrius, shoot me an invite when you can. So we're going to do the last one without me in the lobby. So, you know, regardless, you guys will be spared lag. And in the meantime, I'm going to play an FFA game. So we have the picks from Zimmerix. They're coming in hot. And then we'll come back and we'll cast the finale after that, which will be good. And we're all set. All right, perfect. Okay, so we have the matchup. It's going to be Wood Elves and Counts versus Skaven and Dwarves. Yes, it is okay, Christian, of course. So one less person to connect to could certainly help. So those guys are going to continue to carry on here. Let me minimize here, get this going, and doom. A second there, perfect. All right, so we're doing an FFA in the meantime to kill some time while they play that replay. So at least there'll be some entertainment here. You know, we got to improvise. We got to adapt. Let's switch to the local recording so it doesn't have the scorecards at the top. All right. So Arrow's firing up his game. All right, so who do we want to play in this FFA, guys? No, there's going to be commentary on the last game. They're going to send me the replay, and I'm going to cast a replay of their third game. Yes. White Root, don't worry, bro. There will be commentary. Now, in FFA, I want to do something really ridiculous, but who do we play? Slow Jira snuck in like a sneaky gobbo. Oh, man. I play Skaven like nonstop, so I feel like I should play something a little bit different. I could go Dwarves. What do you guys want to see in FFA? You guys just want a massive Dwarven? Okay, we're going Dwarves, and I'm going to hide the build for now because I want to surprise you guys with it. No, guys, you're going to like the way this looks. Trust me. Oh, which blocker do I want to use? That blocker is pretty good. That's an old faithful one. All right. Guys, you are going to love this. I can assure you. Okay, man. I am very excited for this. Just the jankiest of jank builds. Not sure who this is. Is this Aerocrastic? I have no idea. Oh, it is. Okay. Is that Arrow? All right. So, guys, you're gonna like this. I don't know. I might just get wrecked, but it's something that's very ambitious. All right. God, that's so bad. That is so bad. Oh, man, guys. I don't know if I can do this. Okay, so now... Oh, my God. This build is going to be great. Need to shift the blocker a little bit? Okay. I mean, I'm just doing it to surprise you guys. Obviously, I know these players won't snipe me, but... Oh, man. Oh, man. Guys, this is going to be the ultimate of memeage here. The ultimate treat. All right. Get a couple of these guys just to have something, I guess. All right, ready. Oh, man, guys. Quite a legendary build, if I must say so myself. Ugh. Who do we have? Empire, Counts, Greenskins. Yeah, okay. You guys like the screen blocker? Hey, yeah, we're trying to stream. We're trying to get some streaming action going. We're going to do an FFA while the other team finishes their FFA, hopefully, or their 2v2. Hopefully it's a little bit less laggy. But again, for anyone watching back, no, you guys are in for quite a treat. Yeah, this is going to be glorious. I see thunder in today's forecast. That's my prediction. Okay, let's get you guys, and then... yeah, we don't need that, obviously. We have a little bit of gold left. What do we do with the last one here? Okay, we'll just do this and have you guys, and that's it. All right, spend that gold. Nope, a little bit too much. All right. The battle is underway. It's not a Dwarf Vanguard. So these, I don't think we're gonna have lag here too much, at least, because I played with all these guys before. And we play together in 2v2s and FFAs quite regularly, so we should be okay. But again, it's more so about giving the players in the 2v2 a less laggy game so they can get a better game 3 that we can cast and watch afterwards. The squatting character in the screen blocker is a Chaos Troll. No, so guys, what we ended up doing was going for like a mass gun build. So we have all Thunders, double Master Engineer. Yeah, line of sight might be tricky here, but I'm going to minimize and get rid of the blocker now. Hopefully you guys are ready for this. I didn't even look at what I was playing against. Was there? I think there was a vampire counter greenskin because Gojira always plays greenskins. And then, yeah, beards and belts. Yeah, we'll see how the loading goes. It's not so much the loading that's an issue because some people are playing on like laptops and whatnot. It's mainly making sure our connections. I think everyone here is American too in this. Arrow, Hadries, as well as Gojira. So hopefully we won't have any problems. I got the blocker down. Is there that much of a delay? I'm just getting all your messages about the blocker now. Guys, you give me anxiety here. Goodness gracious. I got it. Don't worry. Zach is like, no, let him find out. Do it. You were hoping I would play with it. I've learned my lesson pertaining to blockers, that's for sure. Well, hopefully it's not too laggy. Even if it is, who cares? We're just going to mess around and have some fun in this FFA. We can just go after the person who's lagging. Let's blame Gojira. All right, so we have a Dwarven gun line. So let's set him up. I just have to hope there's no like melee rush next to me, because if there is, it's going to be bad. Okay, there's the main formation. Master Engineer here for buffs. Master Engineer here for buffs. We have our front line is going to be flamethrowers. We have some Trollhammer torpedoes as well. So we can have them a little bit offset here. God, I hope nobody Vanguards behind me. That would be so freaking bad. All right, and we got Gromby here for the smoke bomb. All right. Slock it. Oh, man. Guys, I don't know how this is going to go. All right, so we have Vampire counts. This is Empire, which we have a great matchup against. This is Greenskins? No, that's Hadri. That's Vampire counts. You guys like this build? I mean, it could work. We probably need to be more offset, like more kind of layered back. Like, because I know I'm going to get rushed and, like, when they see my army. Aerocrostic speaking French, I think. Oh, yes, the flamethrowers in the front line. You guys know you like it. Come on. Come on. Well, you know, at least they have 120 armor, 125 armor, and so they'll be able to take it. I readied up just to put some pressure on my opponents who have probably... So that'll hit them. This will hit them. I have entrenchment too. This is quite a treat we have here. And for anyone just joining the stream, this is just a intermission between one of the games as the players play their game. So we're just having some fun. You guys approve of this build? I'm probably gonna get wrecked so freaking hard. But you know, I wonder how a build like this would do. Like, okay, so let's see what the Empire has. So, okay, the Empire has a Hellstorm rocket battery, and Hadri's has some spooky undead stuff. So let's go ahead. We need line of sight, so let's square up here. I guess we need... I don't want to, like, sit and cower. I could pressure on Arrow, but the Greenskins are going to swarm Arrow, so maybe I just take the fight with Hadri's. Yeah, you can see he's moving a solar army into the trees, just trolling. No, the Hellstorm's shooting at us. Oh, no! Arrow, stop! Stop it! Okay, we have to go for Arrow. We're going to get flanked by the vampires, but it is what it is. Slayers, go. Charge. The Greenskins are going to do some crumping here. That freaking Hellstorm just, like, wrecked my Thunderers. Oh, my God. I need it to run out of ammo, like, right now. You can't even really juke it, also. Oh, God. The humanity. God, I'm just getting shreked. I think I just have to eat that, to be honest. I think the Greenskins are just getting dunked on over here, too. Yep, we gotta face Hadri's. We gotta face the vampire counts, otherwise I'm just gonna get pounded. Jesus. Okay, I'm so out of position here. This is so bad. Get the Slayers ready. Okay, so I think I just have to eat Arrow Sunmaker. Oh my god, it's so punishing. Okay, so we've reformed ranks for the vampires. Oh god, stop with that Sunmaker. It's just ruining me, dude. Oh god, stop! Stop the humanity! I'm just gonna get like dead last here in this. Alright, flamethrowers on! Flame on! Let's get the Slayers to go intercept those skeletons. Alright, let's shoot. Let's just shoot at whatever we can at this point. At least the flamethrowers seem to be doing some decent work. Take down the Black Coach. Bring these guys back. You get a smoke bomb on them. Okay, so we slowed one of them down, which is good. Okay, one Black Coach is almost down for the count. Oh no, my game crashed! No! God, why is nothing working today? What is this? No! Oh, man. That needs to go in the book. If I've ever seen so myself. God, just nothing is working today. Let's fire up the game. See if those guys crashed. That's a shame. Oh my god, just the fates just... Oh, Gojira crashed too. I think everybody crashed. Why, Warhammer? Why do you do this? You know, Bannerlord comes around, I stay faithful to you, I stream you, and this is what we get. Oh my god. So, our whole game crashed. You guys... Hadries, did you crash as well? At least I didn't get last. I know I still probably had more points than some people. You know, I was like, oh, don't worry. This will be a redeeming characteristic of this stream. Yeah, we'll have a fun little FFA with some meme armies, and then wha-bam. At least you guys got to see. The crash was a mercy. It kind of was, wasn't it? Oh my god. Well, those are all games here. Sunmaker hit the internet. I know, everyone crashed. Oh my god. It's the April Plague, I know. Well, those two gentlemen, they're still playing the other game. I would imagine that they're probably almost done, so we can just hang out until then. I don't know, I'm trying to decide what campaign I want to do next also. Unfortunately, they got rid of the beta for the Proving Ground, so I wasn't able to do the last episode of my Queek campaign, which definitely sucks. Definitely not fun. God, I can't believe that. That is so freaking troll. Hey, for effort, thank you. Thank you. Gojira, that's pretty funny. Yeah. I mean, we could do an FFA again, but I don't know. Like, they're going to be done soon, I would imagine, the 2v2 game. So, at least we know we can probably cast replay safely. Yeah, we'll see. I'll chat with you guys in the meantime. We'll do a Q&A. Just hang out and just add me to the Twitch section of Just Talking. Sure. So if you guys want builds for... So I'm going to take requests for builds. So Blackv says, can you give me a build for Greenskins or Skaven? So if you guys give me a matchup, just whichever one I see that I know how to answer, I will. So if you guys want builds, let me know. Yeah, they announced it. Yeah, a couple days in advance, Jason, but I had my schedule already set for other streams and stuff. And I was having trouble switching back and forth from the beta to the actual client after I installed Warband because my computer space, so yeah. So yeah, if you guys want any to see any matchups and like builds and things like that, we can go through that. I'm totally fine with that. I can also just show you my builds for Vampire Coast if you guys want to see like all my builds for every matchup for Vampire Coast. Let's do that. We'll do a little bit of a mini Vampire Coast guide here. They're still in that 2v2 battle, which is crazy. Everyone's overcasting the heck can crash everyone's game. Is that actually true? My favorite sport, MMA at the moment. My post-apocalyptic life is great. I get to hang out with my lovely wife, and we always have a great time together, so everything's good. Okay, so the first request is going to be Tomb Kings versus Wood Elves. I see that one here. So if I were playing Tomb Kings versus Wood Elves, I would probably go for Ark in the Black, either him or a Casket. Although honestly, I think Ark in the Black on a Chariot is pretty nice in case they rush you. You have a pretty good option to deal with like Dryad rushes and things like that. So you get Arkin. I would probably also get a second Casket just to kind of keep the Wood Elves honest and outrange them and force them in. Arrows of Kurnus can kind of snipe it, but even still, I think it's a nice piece to really kind of keep control over the battlefield. Now for infantry, basically just going to go for Skeleton Spearmen for the front line. They have, anti-large. They're going to take a beating, but you have other assets to kill their infantry, including Ark in the Black. Ushopti Great Bows aren't bad also. They can certainly, do some pounding, and there's a couple ways you can go about this. I would definitely recommend getting a bunch of Nehekar Horsemen. They're really good. A great battlefield control unit, great pursuit unit too if you're trying to chase like Way Watchers, but with the Casket, you should force them in. And honestly, I've seen people use like a Bone Giant as well. It's very durable, it has 350 range, and if they go for like a Flying Air Force, it can kind of force them in. So this is one variant of a build. So here's your kind of ranged core. So now, to win the game, you basically just have to defend your Bone Giant while it kills their big assets, and the Casket kills their missile pieces in conjunction with Spirit Leeches. I would recommend using Buna on like Wild Riders, and things like that. So from here, you basically just have to defend. You have the Nehekar Horsemen to run battlefield control. Probably getting some regular Ushopti is pretty cool also. This is just kind of a build off the cuff. So look at it like this. If they go with a Dryad Rush or like an aggressive rush, you have Skeleton Spearmen, you have Ushopti. The Ushopti will be very good against Dryads and War Dancers. And now if I look at this build, the glaring weakness I see is dealing with what's it called? Like very aggressive Wild Rider play. So from here, you can mix in some Sneaky Snakes, for example. And if you're going to go for Sneaky Snakes, I would recommend the Necropolis Knights with shields because of the Way Watchers and Focus Fire that can come. And just from here, honestly, just getting like one carrion that can scout is probably going to be good. And yeah, you can get Thy Will Be Done. It's okay. But let's see here. I need a little bit more dough. I'd like to get a carrion on top of this just to have some really, really good battlefield control. Yeah, it's kind of tricky to afford it. I mean, honestly, you could cut the Sneaky Snake. They are pretty good, though. Having like a big armored beast that has like good mass to block up Wild Riders is incredibly useful. Plus, it's also good against like Forest Dragons and things like that. You'll have the Bone Giant and Spirit Leech for single entities plus the Knights. Although that is kind of the big weakness of this build is dealing with like the Forest Dragon. So maybe you cut one of the Ushopti here. And how are we going to more efficiently deal with single entities? That's my real concern when looking at this build. And that's really how you should go about like these type of builds here. Honestly, Necropolis Knights might not be bad also. Not Necropolis Knights, but the Sepulchral Stalkers. Yeah. Yeah, I'll show you guys some coast builds after this. All right. So, we got the replays actually, so I can go in and show you guys that now. So yeah, against Wood Elves for Tomb Kings, you basically have your front line. If they go Dryad Rush, you have a Cycle Charging Chariot with summons. You also have Ushopti, you have Anti-Infantry, Cav, and Necropolis Knights. Now, what you really need to deal with is the big large threat, and honestly, you could throw in like a Tomb Prince, put him on horseback. You definitely want to keep the Curse. And like, yeah, this build doesn't look bad. Like, he can potentially help deal with the Dragon with Spirit Leech. You have ample defense here with Nehekar Horsemen. The Bone Giant, the Casket will force the Wood Elves in, and I think a build like this could be pretty efficient. So, all right, so let me go ahead and get the replay loaded up. All right. Very good. Loading up the replay now. Hopefully that little journey over to build analysis was fun for you guys. I'll do a video on my my coast builds, like a coast build guide. I think I'll start doing a series for every faction on that. All right, guys. So let us load back in to the correct screen, and here we have it. It's going to be Game 3 between Tank and Crabling and Zimrix and Ice Power. So now we load in with the replay. So Dwarves and Skaven against Wood Elves and Vampire Counts. Should be quite interesting. So, of course, the winner of this will be our first qualifier. I know it's been a long and treacherous stream filled with shenanigans and lag and drama, tears and sorrow, but also passion and hope. But yeah, guys, we move forward now. I will do a build guide for Vampire Coast. That won't take me long to record, actually, so I'll do it to it. Don't worry, I'll do a separate video on that. All right, guys, so here we are in the game. Over here, we do, of course, have the forces of the Vampire Counts. I was about Vampire Counts and Vampire Elves, but no, it's going to be Wood Elves and Vampire Counts. Now over here we have Crabling and Tank. They're going to be leading Skaven and Dwarves. Now if we look, there's a pretty aggressive Vanguard back here, so let's look first at this army. So Skaven front line, mostly just chaff, honestly. A couple supporting Dwarf Warriors in the secondary ranks. And on top of that, we do have Grumbrindle the White Dwarf, Plague Priest, as well as Gotrek Mortars, and a Plague Furnace. Now Plague Furnace is great. It lets you contend in the Mortis Engine game. For example, if they have like a big blob, having that Mortis Engine effect to drain down the blob would be very helpful. In the back, a couple Quarrelers. We do also have a Goblobber, and it looks like some Ixchus Triads in the back with Skaven Slave Spears. So certainly a nice army. Now for the forces of the Wood Elves and the Vampire Counts, Wild Riders, and Doggos in the Vanguard. Now this could be quite big. If they're able to get on the Dwarven Missiles and or the Goblobber, as well as the Mortars, I mean, that could be, game-changing for sure. And we saw this earlier in today's stream when they were actually able to have a pretty masterful Death Runner ambush in one of their games that brought them back and helped them win the series. So that was very, very nice. And that's pretty much it. I mean, for the rest of the army here for the vampires, it's going to be zombies. We do also have Vlad von Karstein. Oh, hell yeah. A Glade Lord, Crypt Horrors, and in the back, Starfire Shafts. So nothing super elite. Again, it is on medium funds for this tournament. So, players aren't going to have the biggest and thickest of armies, but certainly not terrible. So the Dwarves and Skaven in a very defensive posture. Oh my god, this feels so good that there's no lag. So good. Anyways, Direwolf's looking to get in here. We saw Ice Power, of course, it looks like he's playing the Vampire Counts earlier, was able to have some amazing penetration and find his way through the gaps and the seams, but I think Tank and Crabling are very privy to this right now. They're flexing out Slayers as well as Clan Rats and really doing their best to make sure that the heavy cab don't have too many options. And, the Goblobber is actually doing some decent damage here against the Elven Missiles, and that's really where you would want it to be shooting. Now here we have some Skaven slaves basically running interference, and clearly the Skaven and Dwarf commanders have decided to send them in as chaff sacrifices, and it's good. It kind of breaks up the formation of these guys and also halts the advance a little bit, which is certainly not bad. Now back over here, Ice Power continuing to try and surround. Super team, again, for anyone watching, is the Dwarves and Skaven, and the Grail Peasants are the Wood Elves and the Vampires. So the Mortars also shooting in, going after the Wild Riders. All it takes is one hit to do a lot of damage there, which is quite nice. And it looks like the Glade Lord's getting pretty balls deep here. A little bit risky. There are some bows. No thunders or like heavy direct fire, so it's not going to be as punishing. But the Glade Lord is, trying its best to kind of juke about and do its thing. Vlad von Karstein coming in. He's going to be charging in like a true hero of the people, taking those missile attacks right to the face. He's very tanky, and he does actually have the von Karstein ring. So if you ever got like alpha strikes, you could, mitigate that. But it looks like he's going to be trying to drop a summon. I think he wants to drop it right here and just right on top of the borders or something, but he's got to be careful. Gotrek and Felix could probably 2v1 him pretty effectively, so he's going to want to turn and run. Or at the very least, if he takes the duel, pop the Von Karstein ring, but the zombie summon in the borders does shut them down temporarily. And is this a Helm of Discord Wood Elf Lord? No, it's Pravenoth Rama. So Pravenoth Rama used on Felix here. Nice play there by the Grail Peasants, but are the Starfire Shafts in position? A little bit wasted, unfortunately, as his archers are slightly out of range, and it looks like Felix is not going to take too much damage. Granted, I mean a little bit, but nothing to write home about. Now in the back, the dogs are trying to get in, but man, Tank and Crabling doing such a good job defending their artillery. Granted, a bit of an opening, a little bit of an opening here, but the Dragonback Slayers are able to intercept, and the other doggos simply cannot find a home, as the defensive formation in the back is very, very good. So now the Wood Elves here and the Graveguard have advanced on, putting some decent pressure in here. And you can see a sniping attempt, trying to get all the archers basically to snipe Skrulk Daddy, but the archers really getting punished heavily by the mortar play. You can see some of the archers are just in dire straits back there. Currently, bounce power is pretty even, but I would say that the Dwarves and the Skaven are in a slight state of advantage, having done a lot of damage to the archers, and all the doggo harass has pretty much been circumvented and dealt with. Dragonback Slayers peel back here. Oh, this could be really good here. It looks like it's going to be a pendulum. Pendulum coming down from a Shadowcaster on the Dwarven Quarrelers, doing some really, really good damage for sure. And now the missile pieces have switched onto the Plague Furnace, which is good, but you can see some really active tanking here by Crabling, going back and forth, really effectively dodging that firepower. And that's really, kind of the sign of a good tournament player, these type of jukes. Now here we have a big ugly pit fight. We have Gotrek, we have Felix, we have, the whole crew, Grombrindle as well. We have Deathmaster Snitch helping, and it looks like Vlad got punished. Now the Von Karstein ring was able to save him. 3v1 obviously not going to favor any lord in this game, really. But the Von Karstein ring does give him 90% ward save for a long period of time, and he is able to get away. So that was a nice usage there. However, Deathmaster's on the hunt, the Assassin as well. And yeah, you know, Deathmaster seems to have a really good niche in these 2v2 matches because there's so many characters to assassinate. You know, obviously 2 factions and heroes are very powerful, so there are going to be a lot. And Deathmaster just going balls deep and taking out this Dryad. I mean, absolute no mercy. Trophy Head's activated as well. And yeah, that's a really good gooning attempt for sure. And now you can see the balance of power does reflect, you know, the current state of the game a little bit more accurately. The mortars are online, all the missiles are online. The dogs have gotten onto some quarrelers, but quarrelers have 80 armor and pretty good melee defense, so they hold just fine. And the last of the doggos in the back really haven't got much value. The Dwarven gunline's firing happily. Deathmaster assassinated the caster. Now they're going after the Glade Lord here. It's looking like it's going to be a pretty good game for tanking Crabling as their 2v2 composition here is pushing back the forces of the Wood Elves as well as the dreaded Crypt Horrors. So now the Wood Elves and the Vampires trying to reform ranks, obviously maybe thinking they can get their missiles back, kite the Plague Monks, heal up a little bit with maybe some invocations here on the Crypt Horrors, but Deathmaster's going in. This is actually a little bit scary for Deathmaster though, but he's very quick. When he's not poisoned, he has speed upwards of 50. Arrow of Kernus coming in, kind of hitting the rear of the Deathmaster, getting trampled here, but really there's so much firepower. Oh man, the mortars here are going to be gross. If they shoot into this blob, that could be so incredibly strong. So good and tasty. So the mortars come in. I think one of them actually hits Vlad. No, it does not. But now all the quarrelers are going to kind of peel for Deathmaster, and he's really not taking too much damage. A little bit. Vlad's coming in for the kill. Pretty much healed up to full health, but Felix, you know, Gotrek, the whole crew is here. And the last of the Scurvy Doggos basically just going in there, trying to take out the Goblobber, but are taken out by the supporting backline defenses. Here comes the Slayers though. Deathmaster again getting beaten on by Vlad, but the mortars coming in and doing that overtime poison to the Crypt Horrors, quite good. And this is going to be the last stand here, I think, for the Vampire Counts and the Wood Elves. And there goes Deathmaster, Helping Hand. Oh, the Helping Hand is activated on the Deathmaster. That's some MLG plays right there. Giving that bad boy some really, really good ward save, which is quite hilarious. This is best of 3. It's best of 3. So here comes the Crypt Horrors. Rival High Talisman activated. They're all crumbling. Vlad is running for the hills. And it looks like the Skaven and Dwarf defensive position was able to hold very effectively. And I have to say, Crabling and Tank did a masterful job defending their back line. A lot of the Wood Elves and Vampire Count success was going to be depending on if those dogs could get into the back line and shut down all this goodness, but they weren't. And then the characters and the assassination from Deathmaster was really on point here. And Vlad is going to get gooned because little friend here, Deathmaster does extra damage based on the missing HP of the opponent. Vlad von Karstein falls, taken out by the White Dwarf, who fought shoulder to shoulder with the brave Deathmaster of Clan Eshin. So classic stuff. Now the Wood Elves have a couple archers, but that is going to be it. The Grail Peasants are the Wood Elves and the Vampire Counts. Super Team 1 is tanking Crabling, and that is going to be the game. Series going 2-1. Pretty good series for sure. But alas, in the end, the Dwarves and Skaven Alliance proved to be very, very strong here. Now, what could they have done differently is the question, like in terms of the army composition. Vampires could have gone much wider with like more durable infantry, maybe? I don't know. It's hard to say. It's really tough to say. Wood Elves could have gone for like some Way Watchers perhaps, but again, Quarrelers and things like that are pretty... It's hard. Maybe more monsters, because like there wasn't too much anti-monster there. Like Vargulfs would have been really powerful for sure. Cold-blooded. I know. That's very true, Lich109. So there you have it, guys. Super Team, despite all the lag and treachery we faced today, has advanced on. It's going to be a 2-1 victory for them, so they're going to be the first team to qualify for our grand finals of our 2v2 league. And again, guys, remember, future events will all be replay-based, so if you see another 2v2 stream, do tune in. We are going to be doing it with replays, and it will be much more smooth and efficient. But again, I just want to thank you guys for joining and really sticking through it. It just shows how awesome of a community we have here. Even in the darkest of times, you guys are there, shoulder to shoulder, interlocking shields, always ready to party. So again, thank you guys, the mods, for helping out. I don't think we had Slanesh bots today, but nonetheless, I always appreciate you guys being here and helping. We had some very generous donations come in as well from Azel, Astos Moldova, Lich109, Blake Colborn, a couple times, Lich109 again, and Cody Bear. Thank you guys so much. And if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Got a lot of dank videos coming up soon. The best heavy cav in the game, best unit for each faction. We're also going to be doing a guide on combat for Bannerlord. And as far as faction build guides, we'll be doing that as well. My favorite faction lore-wise are Dwarves. And to play are Dwarves, Skaven, and Vampire Coast. Those are my best factions, hands down. But that is it for today, guys. The Super Team, Crabling and Tank, have advanced on to the Grand Finals, which should be quite a bit of fun once we eventually get there. And for now, that is going to be it. So thank you guys for joining. I will be streaming again tomorrow, and it's going to be a Bannerlord stream. We're going to be continuing my Khan campaign. So Khan has to go conquer the Empire, and I figure we're 5 episodes in. Now it's the time to open up the gates and do it on stream and just have some fun. So it's going to be great. All right, guys, really appreciate you all. Absolute aces. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon. I know. The only Slanesh bot we had today was Turin himself, I know. Just the beatings I took. Zyphos is correct. All right, guys, thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys soon, all right? Tune in tomorrow for Bannerlord, and Sunday, I don't know what we'll do Sunday. Maybe I'll take Sunday off, or I'll do some sort of another Total War stream like maybe King of the Hill on Sunday. King of the Hills are always safe, so we'll do it to it. All right, guys, thank you so much. Appreciate it. See you guys around. Take care.